walk around Kmart, seriously, and do some shopping and have a look at some of the brands that are in there now that are just...
Did you ever have Etnies shoes?
Etnies? No, I've heard there's skate ones.
Yeah, skate ones. I thought I was a made skater. Couldn't skate.
I couldn't skate. I didn't even try it.
I thought skaters were so cool when I was younger. They are cool.
They fucking are. Surfers. Anyone could do that. Fuck. No, anyone who could surf or skate.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm like, yeah, that's sick.
Okay, if you
no
could
one
skate,
could fucking do anything at Toronto High apart from fucking bash and just fucking fight everyone and rob milk trucks.
We started off with one of the great tangents, so hopefully you can get that in, Lukey. And
did you start the show?
Yeah, there's a little bit. Yeah, maybe you hit the button in time. But we were all, because we're Western Sydney, a lot of parks around, a lot of jumps. Used to go down to the park, make a jump, over the top on the bike.
Yeah, we just had pushies and shit. Just to ride around them everywhere. Play footy, just footy games
footy
everywhere.
Cricket.
Just flat out.
Did you play cricket as a kid?
Yeah, but we didn't have money to play on the week. It just cost money.
Yeah, it did.
League didn't cost money.
Yeah,
like, you fucking buy a cricket bat, man. 8 kids, fucking household, fucking
150 the best, even back in the day. What would a cricket bat be worth now, Lukey?
Like, they're so
450,
expensive.
500?
Nah, the good ones are like closer to $1,000.
What about Stuart Surridge? What's he got? An SS.
You know who's Stuart Surridge?
That's SS, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. No, you're right. The SS is one of the brands. Yeah.
I thought your nickname was Stuart McGill.
Yeah.
No.
You know who we need to hit up? Our boy Sammy Constas.
Yeah, I'm not paying for a fucking cricket bat ever. Him, Kookaburra, straight away.
He said he'll play in the golf day at the end of the year too if schedule fits. But when would they be? They're starting around that time, September,
Very
October,
similar timing.
And there's no way he'd be able to play.
They'd at least be an Aussie camp.
Yeah. I seen somewhere recently too that they're going to think about for the next what is it, like the test series that they've got coming up? It's going to be Uzi and Marnus opening. Anyway, this is the Levels Network. I am Justin Horo, joined by the Triple OG Willie Mason and the bros Lukey Stale. No, we're not a cricket podcast or a BMX podcast or a surfing skating podcast.
Nothing.
We are a rugby league podcast. And over the weekend, actually, let's start. How was your weekend, lads? Lukey, should we start with Lukey?
Yeah, Lukey was down in
Down
where
in
were you, mate?
King Lake, Victoria is the place. Had my mongrel boots on out on the farm.
Where the fuck is that? Whereabouts? Like, give me some like.
It's like north.
Land in Melbourne?
Northeast, boom, straight up. About an hour and a half. So then he's about a 30-minute drive to go across to the vineyards. So we went to the Yarra Valley on the Saturday. A few wines here and there.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's
I've done
the
that
name
before.
of the area?
King Lake.
Is it near Penfolds and stuff like that? I've been to Penfolds.
When we went to on the Saturday, yes, but not where his house is. Like 30 minutes the other direction.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's a little country town sort of vibe. So
Beautiful. Weather was good down there too.
Beautiful.
It was good weather?
Great weather.
Money's wedding was northeast as well. I reckon it would have been close.
They're not that far away. You were probably in Coomera. I think the wedding venues are around there. That's where my mate got married.
Did you sing some?
Did sink a few reds.
Did you fucking headache next day?
Yeah, it was a tough Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plane home, just doing these ones. So.
Yuck.
But it was good. It's all my high school mates. So every year we catch up.
It's cool.
One big endeavour. So shout out to the William Clark College Kellyville boys.
So you know how I'll give you a little story about how we went on this. We're on a kangaroo tour, right? And Wayne thought he was going to take us around to a castle. What do they call castle in France?
Stayed castle.
It's the same as like you'd call a normal castle, like a winery or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, so Wayne thought he'd get all fucking culture and all this sort of shit. Oh, you got to go to the castle, and we booked you a whole thing, and we had to play the Frenchies the next day, right?
Was there one in like Carcassonne, close to us?
Yeah, but that was a proper castle, right? So he's thinking we're going to this Carcassonne castle where they shot Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves and shit. Yeah. No, it's a winery. It's the same shit, right? So you got 20 Aussie blokes on I think it was a Friday, right? Friday. And there's some starters there, and like one of the greats, Willie Tonga, right? He was is his first test. He's
it's like an evil laugh to start.
So Shane Webke was the starting props, and we're all sitting there, you know, like we're all out. All of us got smashed, right? Absolutely belted. And there was about probably 12 starters, and we're just like, oh, well, who cares? We're playing the Frenchies anyway, so we're not going to it's not going to be that bad a game. They'll have a crack for the first like 20 or whatever.
Try and take your head off.
Yeah, they'll go crazy, you know, the Frenchies, and then we'll just come home with it anyway. So morning of, so we all tear in, and morning of, Webke pulls out. Who's 18th man? our boy Willie Tonga, guess who has to play? And just hungover as fuck.
How's that for a like though?
Really?
Webke out, Tonga in.
Yeah, so Webke goes out and then he pushed. Yeah, so Tong just goes on the bench and someone else starts.
Did you go from back row to front row or something?
Yeah, something. It all got shuffled. Yeah, it was just terrible. I was just like, because I only wanted to play like 20 minutes. I had to play like 50 or 60, and they were fucking, and they were coming.
I only wanted to play 20.
Well, that's all that off the bench.
It was France.
Yeah, and it was just all the young, like, and I was like, I was a mainstay in the team, and like they come out and fucking nearly beat us.
Oh.
They come out and they went after it. And then
after our time living over there, you know how like it feels like it's because you're out of sight, out of mind, but everyone talks in France. They for sure would have
they would have thought, they're going to bash us. Yeah, well, they would know. So anyway, so we get on the bus. Wayne's not even there. We go out to this castle, and it's just a big winery. We're just going, oh well, and then this is the difference between the Australian wineries. You get the whole glass and shit. They got that whole big fucking test tube and just fucking spraying in everyone's mouth and everyone was involved. We stayed there for 4 hours. We were in this one joint, right? And then we got the bus home and it was just like 5 or 6 o'clock in the arvo. Fucking everyone was poleaxed. Then we had to play the test. Fucking mental.
My time at the winery this weekend, obviously it was the Friday Latrell kicks the grouse field goal.
Oh, yep.
And so the bloke's pouring all the wines and I forget where I am. And he goes, bit dusty, my team lost last night. And I go, Latrell 50 out, eh? And he kind of just looks at me and goes,
AFL?
He had no idea what I meant. I completely forgot where I was.
Yeah, AFL. He's an AFL dude. Boys, the part that I love about doing the podcast for us is we used to have the Depressor of Doom, right? So as you know, not only do I watch the games.
Chateau.
Yeah,
it's a chateau. So I just had to Google it. Then he goes, we're going to a chateau. And we're like,
Carcassonne Chateau.
Yeah, so we're in a chateau, all right?
Yeah.
And he didn't even know that we all got back and everyone was drunk as fuck. He was just like, you boys better tear in tomorrow. Yeah, we did, don't worry.
I love it. Shout out to all the Frenchies that we played with the Catalan Dragons. That's just mad disrespectful.
Oh, mad.
No, because that would have been at the back end. So I was trying to think a couple of the.
The big dogs would have played. Jerome Jusset and all that kind of.
Jerome Jusset, would have been a part of that.
A couple of guys.
Do you reckon Laurent would have been a part of that?
Oh, the Baguette played in 2000 World Cup. I played against him when I was playing for Tonga, and he was on the wing for France. Ragdoll the shit out of me. In Carcassonne.
I could see that look in your. That was like you were polite. I thought you were going to go even harder. That's all right. Let's move on.
Le Baguette.
All right. The Depressor of Doom.
Yeah.
As you know, this was a bit of a staple part of the show. I stopped doing it. I got rid of it because
they're depressing.
They are. Well, no, because I thought the coaches were starting to turn on me. Now when we do...
you reckon? Nah, you thought that or you reckon?
So...
Robbo.
Do you believe this? No, not Robbo.
Robbo was ringing me going, fuck, what's Aussie doing, mate?
We'll get to Roosters development in a while, in a minute. But we were saying this downstairs and just talking about a different subject, which we don't have to mention here, but there is definitely more people aware or at least watching not only our content, podcasts, media, like that's just... nature, right? If you're in the business and you see someone's potentially talking about you, they send you clips. So I got that feeling that when I was doing some stuff at SEN and we would be doing like in media boxes and you'd cross paths with coaches, that there was an energy. And it wasn't like it wasn't like one particular coach. It was multiple coaches and there'd be a handshake and like, with some and some would be polite, some would just whatever, like not even register and just go straight past you. But there was an energy. But it's back for this. This is one of the all-time depressors.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't seen it yet.
I didn't see it.
This is off the back of the weak-gutted dog celebration. Lara Pitt questioning Ricky after it. You still haven't seen it, have you,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you're in for a treat. All right.
Give me a look.
I want you to be able to watch it and at least hear it as well, Luke.
Yeah.
So let's turn this up. So a lot of people have seen this already, but the boys are watching it for the first time. Here we go.
Look,
look
at him.
Sticks.
Did you see the try celebration from Jamie and Salmon in the second half? he made reference to the feud that you've had with him and the comment that you've made about him in the past. What's your reaction to it?
What was it? What did you say?
The comment that was made about him in the past, where other dogs been made about him in the past, and he used that as a celebration.
Honestly, how much do you really think I care about that?
Whoa! Can you feel the tension?
Can you feel the tension in the air?
Oh, Lara, what about the questioning from Lara?
Bang. Straight in.
Heavy, eh?
Oh, that's massive.
Heavy. Do you feel the same way I felt when I was
You see Joe's up and he just going,
look at and what Sticks answered it the best way he could.
Mate.
Sticks clearly seen it.
he surely saw it.
He 100%
Because
seen it.
he's on the sideline. He would have went, fuck.
Yeah, he'd be watching it going, I can't flog this fucking week, got a dog.
Yeah, oh, mate.
And then Lara has, in Women Elite round, has the balls to ask
Good
him
on
that.
you, Lara.
Shout out to Lara.
Hey, she's a legend.
Because we were all like, everyone's thinking of watching it. Like, what's Ricky's
I bet
round?
all the blokes in there were shitting themselves. I'm not going to ask this.
How do you like? It's good. You guys are
love
feeling
it.
the same way. I was watching it. I got like secondhand embarrassment. Like I felt myself blushing. I was looking at you trying to see your reaction. You were like, oh fuck. It was so heavy.
But Ricky handled it well.
Oh, yeah,
Ricky, like, of course. Like, what else is Ricky
flip a
supposed
lid
to
and he
say?
could go the
Well,
other
the
way.
best
That's-
thing is, because Ricky's like, he goes, how much do you think
Yeah.
I think about that? Which is like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? Like he probably thinks about it a lot. And especially him bringing it up again.
Did you see? And
He
have
just
you,
reopened another wound.
did you see the video of him at Magic Round 2 last
Yeah,
weekend?
that's what it stemmed from. That's the one I was mentioning. That was a Levels listener.
Oh, goes,
tagged
we go to,
it
and he
on-
sort of laughed at it.
Yeah,
he
so
laughed at
in
it.
the original post, he tagged us straight away.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, mate, that just...
So shout out to him again.
Shout out to Lara, Dog of the Week.
Yeah.
Dog of the Week.
Good on her.
How about that?
That's good, man.
Like,
Ballsy.
she's
Well,
done
everyone
with
wanted
sticks
to
now.
know. Everyone wanted to know what, you know, his reaction.
We all wanted to know.
Because I was just like, I don't think I would.
Even me, like,
I think I would have asked a question, but
fuck, I ain't asking that question to Stick.
like Fox Sports going, who's going to ask the question? Lara, you going to ask this one?
Fuck.
Because he can't get angry. He's not going to get angry at Lara.
We'll see now. Here's my question. You know what he can be like too. That's it.
Yeah.
He ain't doing any Lara interviews.
Yeah, you don't know.
And I think he likes Lara too.
Nah, Lara's cool. I think Lara's got that. She's got such a...
Has she got enough runs on the board?
Yeah, she's cool.
Because she's cool. Like, but fuck, you know what he's like.
Well, we'll know if
We're gonna find out.
the next press conference, she asks a question, he just goes, all right.
Like
She's out.
Yeah, that's it. Like he does the 1 word answers, like interviews before the game.
What should he have said? But I think he handled it
Perfect. There's nothing else he could have said. It was just like it was ballsy.
Maybe he was like, maybe he's right. Maybe he doesn't think about it.
He definitely thinks about it.
100%.
He 100% thinks about it. He 100% seen it on the big screen. Salmon made sure he looked at the camera to do it. So before we even get to it, thoughts on Salmon doing the celebration?
It's
tough for you.
It's tough for me because like
You're a Dogs man?
Yeah, I love
Ricky.
Ricky Shaw too, and like when you look at it, everything why that happened.
Yeah, that's where I'm conflicted.
That's
with
why
as
I'm
well.
like, it's nothing to be proud of.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to watch yourself, right?
But also, in saying that, Ricky was out of line. I always said this, despite
Ricky, yeah, exactly.
the original comment was out of line for a coach to say that at a player at a presser. He should have, if he has grievances, this is
Yeah.
going back to that. And I was always conflicted during this whole thing. 'Cause
yeah, I'm conflicted too.
The shit rumors and stories that we'd been given secondhand information, but it sounded
Yeah.
like there was a whole bunch of different stories. So because of the context of it, I think I don't like it as well.
No, I don't like it.
But I just and going back to it as well, I said this. It wasn't the time for Ricky to bring that up. If he was going to, he should have just done it to him face to face. And you know, Ricky's about it too.
Yeah.
Like Ricky would have had multiple chances to see Sam and just fucking give it to them. You know,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. But just a different generation, isn't it? You know, like, it's just like, you know, I don't know what Salmon's supposed to do because Salmon just got absolutely hammered by a stick, right?
Yeah, true.
True. And how can he get any sort of get back at Sticky?
That is his get
That's
back.
the only get back he can.
Yeah.
With a powerful man like Ricky who's just going to keep fucking driving it into you every time he gets it. And Sticky would have been thinking, 20-0 up, And when he did that.
20-12.
It was only 20-12.
20-10. They've got to still make the kick.
All you did was catch the ball and put it down. You didn't run over Tarpanay or anything like that. You didn't you know what I mean? Like catch the ball, put it down, and then carry on like that. That's what I don't like that. And if you scored the match winner or something like that and you just sort of sick try, whatever, do whatever you want.
Okay, so this is where I'm slightly against you on this. And this is why I had criticism of Tuipulotu when he did it at the start of the year. Different celebration, different context, same team against the Bulldogs. They didn't go on and get the win. He did it at 20-10. They went on a run. Yeah. Canberra didn't score, and they won the game. So there's a part of me like...
It's ballsy. It's ballsy. Do you know what I mean? Because you have a look at that, you're like, Canberra's still on top at that time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It wasn't guaranteed.
It wasn't guaranteed. The game was a hell of a game, right?
Critical to Tuipulotu for doing the same thing effectively.
Well, Tuipulotu's never going to win.
That was my point. So we got into Tuipulotu that he did it, and then they didn't go on and win the game. Salmon did it at a point of the game where it wasn't guaranteed that they were going to win. No. They actually go on, continue to roll them, and we'll get to the game in a bit.
And what if they had lost?
Then he would have got roasted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It's a ballsy move. Yeah. Like if you do that when you're down there against Canberra and they're fucking red hot at that time, and you have the opportunity to do that, you got to.
There's part of respect.
It's a respect thing. Yeah. It's just like, okay, well, maybe this is not the moment. Yeah. If I can get another chance, if we're ahead, if it's a match winner or something like that, yeah. But he's fucking lucky that they got the win and they played well in the second half. And
normally you would be hesitant to do something like this against another premiership contender.
I wouldn't.
But it's like I was thinking about it more over as the game played out. It's like it's not like these two teams need a reason to fucking get fired up against each other. There's grubs across the field for both teams.
Oh yeah.
And I've got a list. We'll get to it in a little bit as well later on the show. Stick around for that. I've got some names I want to throw up to you. So some just performances of players and when they're on the front foot, letting you know the level of hate you have for them. And he's now the Wheat Gutted Dog, he's in it as well. He actually posted on his Instagram, Wheat Gutted Dog with a picture, celebrate. So he tripled, quadrupled down on it.
He's owning it anyway.
He's owning it, and there's a level of respect that I will give him for that because you become a target, and if he's willing to wear it, then so be it. But
we joke about it and call him that on the show. He'd have fans calling
100%. Good point.
I don't think it's people don't know the context of it, so they just think Sicky just called him a weak gutted dog just because, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But if you deep dive into the whole story, you would not be thinking it's just a word, right? Yeah. So that's where, because I know a whole story, and that's why I have a whole different perspective on it. So where I'm like, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
One of those ones.
Is that a new segment? Of the week.
So,
but they got the win, so who cares?
They got the win. We'll get to that. We'll break down the game.
Yeah.
Before we get into breaking down the game, I was super critical of the referees a couple of weeks ago, along with others, legends of the game, Hall of Famers,
the whole game was
all the main medias.
Yeah.
Joey was, I guess, the catalyst that really kicked it off. I think it was on the Sunday Footy Show, and then everyone who does a podcast and show on Monday was saying the same thing, echoing the same thing. It actually led to a response from Andrew Abdo directly, and I want to give the NRL and the referees credit for listening to those frustrations from week 8.
Same,
because over the last couple of rounds, there were bad calls in the games. Yes, there were marginal forward passes or 50-50 knock-ons or decisions that I looked and went, the referee got that wrong. But the referees didn't directly dictate the results. And that's what happened the week before. When you remove players from the field and the momentum swings that are reflected because of that or the results reflect those decisions, then...
there's a problem.
there's a problem, and it ruins the fabric of the game, and it also removes the opportunity for players like, and I've got a few here, and these guys, there might be a couple of these that end up being our OG Bulls of the Week. You don't get to see the performances of Tino, Latrell, Critta, Pappy, so many great performances from our elite players. And not to say that they couldn't have done that a couple of weeks ago, but I wouldn't have had an asterisk next to its name because there were a couple of performances where players played well in those games, and I was looking at it going, yeah, but fucking they were hampered by a player spending
because you had a back rower in the fucking centres.
Correct. And someone was in the bin. So credit to the referees.
Yep.
The NRL, you've done a great job over the last couple of weeks. I do want to reiterate, there will be people watching this that were on the end of bad calls over the weekend. Yes, there were still calls. That's human error. Yeah. There are going to be errors. We can, me as a fan.
It was the bunker thing that was fucking everyone up.
Mace, as a neutral, I could care less who win games. I could care less. I love the game. I love watching the game, and I love a good contest. I watched the games. Yes, there were a few bad calls there. I thought the referee got it wrong, but overall, they did not dictate and decide the games because a player was sent to the bin for something ticky-tacky, or they've just done a really good job. So referees, keep at it.
That's all we want. And that's all we want. Like you well said, Hoz, but like just be consistent.
Be consistent.
Be consistent all through this. We're coming into Origin again. You know, the rules change a little bit for Origin, and everybody allows for that, right? Yeah. We allow for a little bit of the game's a little bit, it's a lot tougher. It's the pinnacle of our game. We don't want to fucking ruin that by sending someone off for 10. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a proper, unless he proper deserves it. None of this ticky-tack bullshit, right? Yep. Unless Suoliti hits Walsh and something like that, that's the only way you're going to get someone off. Yep. But please be consistent, because you were fucking the whole game up and everyone was just over it. People were switching off, and they were just and the amount of stuff that will comments on every single channel, everything was just so negative. Wasn't positive at all. So at least they were proactive, got it fixed. So let's just get moving with the rest of the year.
I'm going to give a little finger clap there. Yeah. Referees, well done. Keep it up. Got a couple of weeks ago.
Thumb clap here.
And they always get it right when it comes to Origin, because that's when I feel like there always is a shift. I feel like every year there's the same cycle. Yeah, the game's in a good place off the back of, really entertaining final series. We get to the start of the year, the referees and NRL try to force themselves onto the game. Yeah. They come up with a couple of little tweaks and rule changes. Everyone's like, why are they doing that this year? Then they go over the top with the contact. It's normally around Magic Round. Yeah. Then they get it right in Origin, and everyone sort of just gets back in a cycle and a rhythm.
It's weird, isn't it? They've done this is like for three or four years they've done this.
Yeah.
Oh, they play the ball, the shoulder to the head. It's just all right.
All right, let's get to a couple of responses. Mace, we've got a couple of people who reached out and have, I think, figured out why you're a little bit confused with the capacity with the stadium. This one comes from Jay Go. I think Mason is getting mixed up with Allen Road. Yep, we got that from Jay Go above, because J World Sports News actually saw you in Boots the Chemist the day before the Tri-Nations final in 2004, Mace. He asked J Worlds, you did, where the headache tablets were. I said, good luck for the final. Mace replied, don't worry, the headache tablets are for the after party after we beat you Poms. I went to the final. It was 39,000 capacity, and we went in confident after winning the week before, but the Aussie Kangaroos blew us away 38-0 by half-time. It was the most perfectly synced team performance I've ever seen live in my life. Headingley Stadium is Leeds' Rhinos grounds. It's about 19,000 capacity, I think, but it has a great atmosphere. You're right, on top of the pitch, and it generates passionate crowds. Will be fierce if it goes down to the wire. Can't wait. And he's also off to Wembley as well. So J World Sports, come and see us.
I can't wait
as well while you're out there for the
pints with these pommies.
A little Ashes tour, mate. I'm telling you, there's
good chat.
There is so many passionate fans in the Northern Hemisphere, in the north of England. It is a priority, and I know this has been talked about before, and we are going to be part of an Ashes tour over there as well. Awesome. So if you haven't had the opportunity to see what the game is like in the Northern Hemisphere and the passion that the fans have up there, and if you want to get a reason why a lot of us who have played in the Super League think it's important that the game is strong up there and maybe gets a little touch up from the NRL, then this is it. Come over for all three games.
And I think the Aussie team will be very surprised about the teams, like about the English support, because this is fucking Great Britain. This is not just England. It ain't England. This is the whole lot. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. There's passion in there. Even some of the players. Was it Carney? Yeah.
Brian Carney played. He was on the wing.
You said not
sing the anthem.
He'd dip his head. Like a lot of the guys that aren't from England, they wouldn't respect the.
He's Irish, he's in
he wouldn't. They wouldn't respect the "God Save the Queen" song. So some would have their heads fucking down. Some would have them up, crying. That's very, very mixed emotions when you play for Great Britain.
Yeah, well,
and I don't think any of none of this Aussie crew is ever experienced.
Going to experience anything like this, right?
So they're going to go there, mate, and they will. And they've been waiting since 2003 for another Kangaroo tour. Like 2003.
You know what? Like in the past, we've been, I guess, critical of international footy because it can be. I feel like it can be a little bit draining for the players at the end of the year. This is an actual series. I think the players will get excited because you're a part of history.
You lose this. If you're on the wrong end of this, you are fucking not. It's not good.
But my thing is, we haven't seen it for 20 years. Too.
I know that.
You're not guaranteed an Ashes tour in your career. If you there are guys who are really good representative players that never got to play in an Ashes because they weren't part of the window.
But I don't think the last time an Aussie team lost the Ashes has been a fucking while. That's why we were petrified. We were petrified. We're going over there as a young team to get swept. Because as we've gone through it before, there was 3 games there that went down to the last 5 minutes. Yep. We could have easily been swept. So you just don't want to be that Aussie team to go over there. I think it might have been in the 80s or 70s the last time we lost an Ashes.
Yeah, wow.
It's been that long.
1970.
Wow, the pressure builds, doesn't it? Well,
so 70.
We'll be chatting to our man Money this
55 years.
Money this week for Athlete. He would be the front runner for the 6 jersey.
Yeah.
I'd love to chat to him about his thought process with because he's missed last year definitely. The year before he played in the Pac Champs that they lost. So
one of his Queensland teammates is likely going to be the fullback for Great Britain, AJ Brimson.
Oh
Bruno,
yeah.
And it'd be interesting that for the World Cup, is there going to be a lot of Aussie players who've probably gone, okay, well I can't get that Aussie jersey. He's played Origin, which is great. I think he grabbed about 8 Origins or something like that. Even, they're going to be going, okay, next World Cup, who can I play for? KP's going to be interesting as well. There's going to be a lot of players.
Here is my prediction. World Cup year coming up next year.
You can play for who you want.
I think no, because you've got to declare.
Sure for the World Cup? I think for the World Cup, you can just make it on that year.
No, not for tier ones. Yeah, it's as in. This is what the decision is.
Been,
I believe you have to if you.
That would have been tier 2. Sorry.
If you elect not to play State of Origin and you become a tier 1 player, e.g. Victor Radley, e.g. AJ Brimson, that's it. Their Origin careers, as it currently stands, is over. I think if Callum plays a huge part in this series this year for Queensland, this could be his last series, and he could declare for New Zealand next year World Cup.
I'd like to see it.
Is there enough time?
Yeah. What do you mean?
There's the time factor, isn't it?
I think the game. Should.
I think it's something, and because both Brimo and Kalen have not actually represented Australia outside of just the 9.
Those 9s, that comp's defunct, so it doesn't mean anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that was a big loophole because they had represented or both played together in the 9s tournament.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything now.
There was some weird thing.
They said it on the weekend. They just said whatever that 9s world 9s is doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, that's my prediction. Kalen, New Zealand World Cup. There we go.
Yeah,
I think
I'd like to see that.
It'd be way better.
I'd like to see it.
It'd be way better. And we've got some good we've got some good young emerging fullbacks coming through at the same time. Like Keanu Kinney, what he looks like during that. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll be over there. All 3 tests. Go on to ashesrl.com.au. Me, Mace, and Lukey will be at all 3 games. We've got packages for the first 2 games. We've got packages for the last 2 games. Come and join us. We've got a good gang going over there too. A whole heap of people have been messaging us over the weekend. They want to get tickets. ashesrl.com.au. All right, mate, it's time to get to. Do you want to crack them?
Yeah.
Let's crack it together.
Ooh.
There was our Red Bull OGs, because I've got an OG. I text you. Here's a little teaser.
Yeah.
People are going to know who I'm going. On Friday night,
Yeah.
I said, Mace, I want an OG. I don't want a young buck. I want an OG. And I declared a player, but your player played on Saturday.
I don't care about the stats on this guy or whatever, where he played, but Stephen Crichton, what he did in 12 minutes is some of the best 12 minutes I've ever seen. You just say Nathan Cleary, what he did in the grand final, right, for 20 minutes was just like so dominant and everything like that. I'm not putting it near that because it was about 12 minutes, but what he did to get us back into that game single-handedly was fucking nothing short of like miraculous. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he did. Early ball, shake and bake. And you're talking about that left side. They're a good defensive centre. Sebastian Kris is a good defensive centre. He just showed him, I don't know how many tries were responsible down that right edge. Then they went to the left edge, but he was responsible for us to get back. What a captain's knock. Mate, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen him play. I haven't seen Stephen Crichton attack like that. Defensively, he's been the best defensive player. I expect him to stop. He'll stop your best player. He'll stop you.
Yep.
But he won't shake and like that's really Tonga-esque, right?
Ooh, that's
really Tonga. That's like a Mark Gasnier. That was like a Tatey. Like those guys back in the 2000s where they was fucking one-on-ones and they were just getting skinned. You know what I mean? Remember a couple of times Mark Gasnier just had the ball early, shimmy, shimmy, whoosh, all that sort of shit. Like, look like that. That thing when he did that over there like this, that's just going to be, that should be a poster somewhere in the Bulldogs place. So Stephen Crichton, shout out to you, boy. That's my OG Bull of the week. What a machine.
Does he just have like a switch in his head that he can just flick on and off whenever he wants?
No, but he must.
Because he is so clutch, mate. Like, whether it be, like, defensively we talk about him, and we talk about offensive stats and he's taken intercepts and like had huge moments and a big drop goal in the
everything.
In the Samoan semi World Cup, like and a nice deft touch in the grand final in 2023, which led to Nathan going on his little run. But his ability to just switch on in a big game, and I know he's had bigger games than this, like grand finals, World Cup finals, semi-finals in the World Cup, but they were getting beaten by a premiership threat in the Canberra Raiders, and his ability to just flick a switch, turn it on, get the team going, and then he just sat back again too. And then the left edge
opened up. It opened everything up, but he's that 10 to 12 minutes of opening of that, I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, they were trying to shut it down. He just couldn't. He was just doing things that no one else can do, and he just has that ability. He must just going, okay, well, if you aren't going to do it, I'm going to do it. Give me the ball. Give me the ball, see what I can do. So I'm just like, wow, okay. You are that man. And if you had any doubts about him being right centre for Origin, shut the fuck up.
He's a lock. He's a Kevin.
Kevin.
He's a Kevy. He's my right centre, and my left centre is my OG Bull, who I messaged you guys straight away for a number of reasons. And I've got some things put out here because I've got the stats are awesome, but again, moments are important to me. So this one comes from L1 from day one, Jimmy Reed. Big shout out to Jimmy. He wrote straight away in the comments, Trail fucking Mitt. Who hits a field goal sweeter than him?
No one.
58 out and never looked like missing. And then he goes on to a couple of things that I'm about to mention. So, Mace, you mentioned the selections or the
former players.
I guess predicted teams. I just predicted teams. Mock teams coming up. Latrell is my left centre. Stephen Crichton is my right centre. And we will announce our teams on Thursday. Before everyone does.
Yep.
With the announcement of the teams properly following round 11 on Monday next week. So there's a little teaser. All right. I want to go through some moments that happened in the game, and I'll sort of try to get it in chronological order as best I can. But firstly, early on in the game, Brendan Piakura, who was in a mood and started the game really well, makes a break, gets a nice little drop, goes underneath, palms off about 3 or 4 different players, comes up to Latrell, picks him up in the one motion, but also the awareness in that moment to not only just be thinking about getting a powerful back roll like Piakura to the ground, tells Jaden Sullivan, who had already been stiff-armed twice, I think, in the same play by poor Brendan Piakura. Shout out to Sullivan too. Put his hands up over the weekend, and we'll get to that. 1-on-1 rate, bang, they get the ball. Diffuses any sort of momentum that the Broncos were getting because the Broncos were on fire to start the game. Then I felt like poor Jaden Sullivan got another little bumper bar up by Payne Haas. He's streaking away down the left edge. I'm telling you right now, any other fullback bar, actually no, even Turbo right now, I think Payne Haas makes a decision.
Turbo would be...
No, but like here's my... I'm thinking about the thought process of Payne. Any other fullback, I reckon Payne goes straight at them, straight into their chest.
Doesn't even try and do that little shimmy and then try and get on the outside.
Payne goes straight into the chest of anyone else in the competition except for Trell. So because he has to have a little swerve, Trell comes in, gets him nice and low, beautiful tackle. Then he comes up with equally as good.
Underrated that.
Yeah.
He was fucking moving.
He was... It's Payne Haas.
Moving.
It's Payne fucking Haas.
Yeah, but he was flying.
It's Payne Haas. He doesn't respect anyone else in the game in that manner, and he goes straight over.
But he's a little bit. He just said a little bit there.
Little jink. Yeah. Trell cuts him down around the legs. Equally as impressive. Another break in the second half, and this is going out of chronological order. But another huge effort. 14-0 down. Dean Mariner makes a break, and he's dangerous at a different level because he can fucking burn you, skin you, step you, do everything. Latrell just sets up nice and strong, good body language, comes up, makes the tackle in the corner, takes Mariner out. That could have been 18 to 20-0, game over. That's game if they score. Then they go on a bit of a run. But there was also another one earlier on in the game. Sorry, and I missed this one. It's a little bit further down on the notes. So they make a break down the left edge. Pierre Corder, like I said, was on fire. Finds Jesse Arthurs. Jesse Arthurs finds Adam Reynolds on the inside. But it's the hesitation because the threat of Latrell and for sure Jesse Arthurs in that moment would have been thinking about Suafalango get absolutely clipped a couple of weeks ago. Trell's got a great way of letting defenders help him out. Yeah. So because he's such a presence, he just backs off. The defense starts to sort of regather themselves. They start to make it up. Then Arthurs finds Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds puts a kick in.
Benny Hunt.
Latrell gets there. Benny Hunt's chasing. Yeah. Latrell gets there first. Because his presence...
Benny Hunt had the big arms going too.
Going hard.
He's a Roger Fabry would have been proud.
Beautiful techers. Beautiful techers. And then, obviously, they get themselves back in the game. And the field goal was sweet. And the little sneaky try, which we'll get to after this, is
low-key disrespect.
It's low-key disrespect. And I want to ask you after this. But... I think the moment of the game is one of the best no tries of all time.
Yes.
So, the first part of it, and Luke, this might be a little bit hard for you to get the clips for it. Selwyn Cobbo looks all but like he's going to score. Latrell not only tackles him, one-on-one rakes it away from him too. It ends up hitting the deck. Oh, sorry. This is when they're attacking the line. So Selwyn's coming off the line. One-on-one rakes it. It goes back. Bailey Bentley Harpe grabs the ball. And it looks like, I've got to probably watch it again, but it looked like, for me, at the time that he'd stayed in, it was so close. Too. He finds Latrell back on the inside, and Latrell does the opposite of what Payne Haas did earlier on in the game. He looks at Payne.
No, that was it was Willison.
Oh, was it Willison?
It was Willison.
So he had the decision to go, all right, can I get low?
Yeah.
Or should I go step him? And he made the decision to go straight over top of Xavier Willison.
And the other guy, there's another bloke
Selwyn come over and try to help out after the...
So both of them fucking got just put on their back and he just went straight through and just went bang.
And slammed it down.
Yeah, I wish that was a try. Yeah, I thought it was Payne too.
Yeah.
But Willison's fucking massive as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And he went straight through him, straight through his chest.
What a performance.
What a strong human. My God. I hate it. I just even going off a little bit side tangent, like just some of the ex-players, right? Doing their mock drafts and all that sort of shit. Yeah, okay, whatever. But like, what are you doing, like, not even trying to put Latrell in your team? You know what I mean? Like, what are you thinking? Like, just because he's not playing lights out football, there's a difference. there's a difference in Origin players and club players, right?
Yep, you always say that.
Guy his kid is an Origin player. Latrell's an Origin player. If you're a Queensland, you'd be going, fuck, I hope they fuck around and don't pick him, right? That's what Wayne said.
Wayne said
I hope they don't pick him because they know what he can do. He's done it twice. You put him at left centre, he looks fit, he looks motivated, right? Even more than last year, and he still carved you up, right? You put him in there right now, left centre, and he's got about, 3 or 4 or 5 games under his belt of some decent Ks under his legs. He's going to fucking be a problem this year. And you trying to put Bradman Best in front of him and Trebojevic over the other side? What are you thinking? Unless Bradman Best was playing, he's like lights out football. The Knights have been fucking sucking for about 6 weeks. Look, and he hasn't played that well.
I think it's important that we don't you're passionate about the selection of Latrell not being there, and
a lot of fucking journos and everything like that.
You're angry at the journos, but then it sounds like when you go at Bradman Best, Bradman Best's
a gun.
But that's why I want to make it clear that you're not
having a crack at Bradman Best. Not having a crack at Bradman Best, but it's the selections. And
correct.
I mean, even little comment, pick up on little things like when New South Wales and that try and make a narrative about not trying to pick someone and never give them big raps on channel on Fox or anything like that. But when he made that cover tackle on Mariner, they didn't give a fuck. If that was Teddy or Ponga, and they would have went mental. They did not give a shit at all.
You're right.
You know what I mean? I fucking hate that, and I notice that shit when they're going, "Oh, yeah, that wasn't a bad tackle." It's one of the best fucking tackles I've seen for a while. If that was anyone else but him, they would have fucking greatest tackle ever, saved the game. But they didn't give a shit. It's just little things like that.
Little agendas.
Little agendas on these fuckwits, journos and people on commentary and all that. I said, fuck you. I see all that shit and I hear it. You know what I mean? So he's just too strong a player. And he comes up with stuff like this just to go, fuck you. You got to pick me because I'm that fucking dude, right? But when he slips out a little bit and Souths aren't going good, bang, they do these little mock things. He's not in anyone's team, right? Not just like a couple of teams, not in anyone's team.
I'll give you an example for what you're talking about. So whenever he has lapses defensively or South Sydney are on the back foot and he misses an assignment on a kick or whatever,
gets hammered.
They love highlighting it. They love bringing it up.
Biggest highlight ever.
They never, ever, they don't on the flip side, and this is the beauty of what we do as well, because I can happily call Latrell out, and I've seen moments where he's missed his assignment going, Troll needs to be there. But then when he has a performance or an effort like he does, it's not the same. There's just also human nature too, in the sense for sure we all go through I can tell you right now, and we try to be as constructive as we possibly can, but there are players that you don't like, that you do like, that naturally happens all the time. You can watch a game, and I want to ask you a question about a player we're going to talk about a little bit later on at the Warriors. For a long time, there was you watch certain parts of his game going, he's not sort of my guy. And then, they win you over. You've got to have the ability then to go, he's playing too good.
Well, that's the thing with commentate. You're in a power position out there, commentate on the game. But even the little things, I talk about Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark, he was I didn't even know the kid, right? It was little things that I saw in the game.
For sure.
And that I went, that just rubs me wrong because I'm a little bit old school and I'm just okay. Now I'm just I watch him, I go, what a beast. He's doing all the right things. He's not carrying on. He's not carrying on the field, right? He's just playing like a fucking animal, right? There's little things like that. But with Latrell, this has been happening for years. I spoke to him on the weekend. I said, I'm fucking going in on some of these pricks on Monday. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I said, he goes, yeah, good. And he don't give a shit. But I know, it fucking pisses him off as well. But he just doesn't give it any fuel.
Well, see, the thing is, Latrell's been around he's seen it and heard it all now. So, he would not. It's not like you want to welcome it, or it's just you get used to it. It's a part of the game. Whether good or bad, whether you agree, whether some people probably go a little bit harsher. There's also a lot of love and support for Latrell too.
Of course,
there are also people who can sometimes watch his game and see no wrong in his game, and that's a part of the game.
Very polarizing,
but that's part of a polarizing player, and then also loving a player and not liking a player. It takes you a while before you might warm to a certain character. Here's my point with this as well too, and we talked about this on radio yesterday. Latrell, easily, he's up there. I think you could argue him, Walshy, Jerome, who else? Like those three really stand out as some of the more polarising players
those three.
In the competition. And whether you like them or you don't or whatever, where your opinion may be, tell you who fucking loves Latrell? Kids.
Of course he does.
Kids, he puts bums on seats. They all do his celebrations. He goes to clinics. And if we're talking about attendances, when kids love you, they get your parents to go to the game and they get other, mates to go to the game, and he puts bums on seats. Now let's get back to just like the last little bit and the icing on the cake for it. The no emotion.
Yeah. What was
step back after he'd kicked the field goal was
Steph Curry.
Was cool as fuck.
That was so cool. Exactly that. I was like, what is... So he's obviously meant to do that. He hit that and he knew it was going over the black dot. He turned around. I think he's an NBA fan, right?
For sure.
I reckon he's turned around.
Loves American sports, yeah.
That was just ice cold. That was so cold. It was so cold when it was Steph. It just reminded me of Steph Curry when he hits, turns around just like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's the someone said it was like who said it to me recently? Maybe it was a text over the weekend. It was like when the Joker is
walking away when he blows the hospital up,
huh?
Walking out of the hospital.
The hospital, and he's just like walking back, and you can just see all the even just the rain coming down. Paddy Carrigan in slow motion. Paddy's thinking to himself at that point, I wonder what Paddy's thinking, where it's like, should I go for the charge down here? Probably not going to get it. What I should do is just put a little bit of pressure on him.
He won't get it.
So he slices it and just puts him off. Because if he charges down and Souths get the ball, then they're in a better position, right? Jeez, he hit it sweet.
Does anyone hit it a ball sweeter?
No, not sweeter than him. Not sweeter than him. And not to say that he hits it as accurate.
Maybe Birdo.
Yeah.
Those two would be my best dropout guys.
Yeah. Yeah,
like I don't think, but I just still because Latrell's hit a couple of those. Remember a couple of years ago he hit a massive one for
Melbourne.
South?
Against Melbourne, they still lost because Pappy replied. Pappy replied and got the winner.
Yeah, so I think him and Birdo are the two sweetest drop kickers.
Yeah, it's a good shout
in the game.
Yeah, Latrell hits a good one. He doesn't necessarily hit
left
straight
footers look
every time.
smooth. Man.
Yeah, they do.
Left footers look good. Way better.
Lefties look really good. And we'll get to the Warriors-Dragons game in a bit because someone messaged us straight away after our Metcalf and Valentine Holmes take that didn't age well over the weekend. So we'll get to that.
What happened?
All right, let's get to some replies. And this one comes from Paul Heathwood, and it's about the Roosters' development strategy. And I sort of talked about the development of players. And I sort of, when we go on tangents, I got it wrong with what I was trying to...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
talk about with the Roosters not being able to develop players, and I got some a good message here from Paul Heathwood off the back of the ruthlessness of the Chooks. So thanks, boys. Love the Chooks, but they are ruthless. They're shoring up our youth for when the new clubs come in. Not saying I totally agree with seeing the boys sent packing, but it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. The Chooks just do it straight away and move on, where other joints tend to drag it out, which is a fair comment. Yeah. Anyway, it's a ruthless business. Paul, firstly, love that a fan of the club has the ability to sort of understand the take and where I'm going with it, but also not make it personal and respond with a valid reason.
Yes.
That is 100.
Instead of
even though I hate what's happening to Cheese and Dom, if that is the thought process of the Roosters and how ruthless they can be and just rip the fucking Band-Aid straight off, get it done. Like I said, I've had my own situation. I can see what's happening with Cheese, but it's like I totally respect what the Roosters do. Like and this is the point of it. This game is a business. Yeah. So when players do it the other way, just understand it goes both ways. That was my point. And like when I talked about them not developing talent, it was inaccurate. Like my big take was in order and in comparison to the Panthers and Storm, say for example, they've always had, in my opinion, had to buy a few players to get over that last hump.
Yeah.
Like they've developed some really good players. And some of these guys I played under 20s with at the Roosters. So Cordner stands out. Developed him. He's one of the best back rows I've ever played against. One of my good friends, Sean Kenny Dowell from playing 20. Skiddy was a gun rooster. Jakey Friend was a gun rooster. Jared played about 3 games at Manly, but like Roosters well and truly developed him. Piercy, Toops. There's so many that go on during that period where they won three premierships. And then you get guys like Rads. He's the ultimate example of an Eastern Suburbs junior that's come through. So I was talking out of school a touch, talking about they haven't been able to develop Roosters. But the one criticism, or I guess the one critique that I've got is, in order to take that next step with some of these gun players that they've developed, they've had to go and buy the Sonny Bills, the James Maloney's and the Michael Jennings of the world to win 2013. The 17, 18, also 18 and 19 premierships come off the back of Tedesco and Cooper Cronk. Right? Like they've gone out and got elite players. That was sort of my point with it.
Yeah.
This is a message that comes from Matthew Charles. I think it's not overlooked or forgotten, but I'll bring it up anyways. I'm a Queenslander, but go for the Roosters. So maybe I see it a bit different. But Boyd Cordner, this guy's career, 3 premierships, 2 as captain 2 Origin Series, captain Australia to a World Cup. Yep. Shortish career, but fuck, this guy achieved it all.
Everything.
Boyd is one of my favourite.
I love Boyd Cordner.
If you could... Mate, you would have some really good ones. And because you played with a lot of them at rep level, if you could ask me one player that I would love to have played with that I never got the chance to play with, Boyd is the top 3. Easy, top 3. So, sort of got the wording a little bit wrong because we're on a bit of a tangent with the Roosters. Yeah. So just want to let all you Roosters fans know that I'm not a Roosters hater, but that was sort of my point.
It was just like a couple of the big dogs to get them over the line.
Correct.
That's all.
Well,
but they do develop. But when they do develop, when you're talking about these guys here, like I think I saw a couple of comments there. There was probably 10 guys within 15 years, right? Do you know what I mean? That's not that many. Do you know what I mean? There's 15 players. I mean, about 10 players that they named, like SKD and all that, in around about from 2010.
Yeah, but in fairness, for that run, a lot of them played, were a part of the squad that won 3. So that's, I guess, why the names were brought up.
I'm just saying, but like there was a lot that have been bought as well.
Correct. That's my point.
Yeah. So that's why I understand. Like it's a half and half. They're obviously not known for developing players. They get their players. So those guys, all those guys there, they were all coming up. They grabbed them at not as first graders like Piercy or anything like that, and Boyd Cordner, they developed, but they were the best of the best when they were coming through. They don't miss when they got kids coming through like that. They don't miss. J-Dub was always coming through. Friendy was coming through. Rads, all those kind of guys.
As in the recruitment.
Their recruitment's always good.
Yeah.
At that age, like 17, 18, 19. Because they're nursery now. Well, you just got to wait a couple of years, right? The Siwa Wongs are coming through, the Toya's coming through, so that they do not miss. You just need to.
But what are they going to do? Because this is the criticism. If you think that Ches is a lock, Reece Robson's on his way. There are good young players coming through now, and there's signs of development for some of these young guys. But they're going to buy Reece Robson and Daly Sher-Evans potentially to get him over the line.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, that's your argument, right?
That's
and if they do win a comp in the next 2 years, will it be because of DCE and it will be because of Robson and maybe they'll buy another good world-class prop, you know, and
we've got Joey Manu too.
Like Joey Manu might come back, Suoliti might come back. You just don't know.
Suoliti won't. Manu
I know, but I'm just saying. Just in case.
All right, let's go from the Chooks nursery to the Warriors nursery. I've got this message from Harlem Ironside. What's up, lads? As a Wise fan, I probably don't have the faith in the development systems as much as I should, mainly due to our dominance of the Toyota and Holden Cup in the early 2010s. So many gun talents in those sides, but the success that the comp never really translated into the top side as we went through some dark times as those guys were supposed to blossom. Was just wondering what a development system truly successful looks like, winning the lower grades or producing top side talent.
It's a difference between like having a really good reserve grade, and being a good reserve grade player, right? And you're thinking, it's the next jump's going to be the NRL, right? You should dominate the NRL. It just doesn't happen like that. Some just can't make the jump. And a lot of the Polynesian brothers, they can get easily the lowest they'll get is reserve grade, right? And then they'll get a chance at first grade, but then it's the fitness levels. It's all those little things to stay there, the discipline, the habits, everything like that comes with being a first grade player. So their nursery is huge. There's players coming through all the time, built for the game. 6 foot 6'4", 110 kilos. Like, you're built for the game. What's the difference, right? It's just in here, maintaining like your weight, you know, all the little 1%ers, your diet, you know, your training, your skill set, like just developing all the time, right? And that's the knock on most Polynesian players coming through the system in any system. I'm talking to these young kids now, SG Ball, like you're, you know, young kids like you're 110 kilo, 6'3", fit, footwork, like you're built for the game.
Yep.
But you run a Bronco in 6 minutes. Like that's it's not going to cut it, mate. If you want to be over there training in Belmore, like you need to be sub fives. We're talking sub fives for, you know, we want a 440 from you, 445 minimum, not 6 minutes, not six, you know, like a 4 and 5 in 6.5 minutes. This is what most of you guys are doing. Like, and that'll
translate to better minutes.
And I'm just like, you know, because if you don't think that time that you just ran then does not get told to Ciro, you're fucking kidding. Why do you think we're here? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like Ogre and I are here watching you guys train. We just sit there and just watch you, how you push yourself in fitness and see if you can, and like, you know, because you do a lot of fitness, then they'll do a different block and they'll do fitness again and all this sort of stuff. It's how you can push yourself because that's what the game is. The game's all under fatigue. You are never not fatigued. And the only time you're not is when? The fucking kickoff. Yeah. You kick it off and then you're under fatigue in the middle. So the middles are they're a special unit, right? You got to be so fit. You got to be running like these, you got to be running sub fives for 1.2s. You got to be able to be as fit as hell, strong, over 100 kilo, be able to do this, and this. It's a fucking hard sport.
That's very generic to a lot of the development of a lot of teams. I've got a question for you because I think it's perfect because you brought up Ciro there.
Yeah.
And to the question about what's the difference between the 2010-11 team and the success, because you got to remember 2011, all three grades were in the grand final.
Yeah,
under 20s, New South Wales Cup, and first grade. So the hesitancy from Harlem is to say, what's the difference between now and then? And I think you sort of nailed it then, talking about your own situation with the Bulldogs. Both Ciro and Webster have come from the Panthers development system out west, and they know how important junior development is and the nursery is and the standards from under 18s all the way through.
Yes.
So for you, Harlem Ironside, that's my biggest thing. Webby has been a successful program like the Panthers. He's seen how important it is to not only develop the first graders, but also develop the under 18s and so forth. And that's what you're seeing right now.
And that's what you saw at Penrith, right? And that's what, you know, Webby's been there and Ciro's there and Gus started that whole thing out there. And it's all putting it back into the young kids, right? The pathways. That's why you got players like myself and Ogre and Josh Jackson and Steve Turner and that all in around pathways, right? Trying to get, like, because we're all knowledgeable humans. We've been through everything that you've done, mate. You know, like I was a 17-year-old kid coming from fucking Toronto West. You know, now you're a 17 kid you could be coming from the country or something like that. Doesn't matter. We're there for your little journey, right? There's nothing that you have fucking done or I haven't done or what, you know what I mean? Like there's a blueprint.
You've done more than most.
There's a blueprint, right? So the blueprint's out. Like if you want to do X, Y, and Z on the weekend, this is where you'll end up. You want to do this is where you'll end up. Like we were the test dummies for a lot of this shit, the 2000s, because the game only just come back together and the game was just turned pro about 5 years before that. So all of us know how to be professional players, right? And we all played in those eras, and we're just trying to give these young kids knowledge.
So specifically about the WAS then, going back to the question about the WAS. Do you think the right people were in place through Webby? Do you think he's doing something similar to that?
I'm not sure who he's got in his pathways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'd imagine that.
You'd imagine he'd have some really good players and former players, right?
Yep.
Because you know what these young kids are like? If you haven't fucking done much in the game, they don't even look at you. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like you got to have important people there. Even guys like, you know, like I think like a Ruben Wiki or someone like that. He'd
know Rubes used to be, I
know he used to have a big place there. So I was just thinking they should have a lot of those guys. But it is very important, the pathways, and to be teaching everything from first grade all the way down to the under 17s, under 18s, they're Harold Matts. And their Harold Matts they're killers as well.
Yeah.
So you got to teach the same thing all the way through. So by the time where Ciro's eyes and ears, by the time they get to 19, 20, 21, are they ready to go up? Then they get asked the big questions. What the fuck? Okay, maybe he is, maybe he's not. Like it's a big deal.
Here we go. So you're talking about you and Ciro relaying what's happening at the under 17s or 18s. We don't even have a coach to see this. This is a highlights from a young kid I've talked about him before, I think, Lukey. Shout out to the Warriorholic, who is a big fan of the show, and he sends me clips, and he obviously does a lot on the junior development. Check out, this is just one highlight from Bishop Neal.
I think I've seen this kid.
Have you seen this kid?
No, show me. I think
Watch this
I know
clip here
you're
from
talking
Bishop
about.
Neal.
Yeah.
Change of the hands. He does it a couple of times, mate. Yeah. He does it a fair bit.
It's a skill set that is very underrated. Right?
Very underrated, I say. So that's where it's coming. The development's coming. They've got players down there.
They've got players coming out.
He's like a hybrid
everywhere.
He's like a hybrid Kikau into Olaquatu.
Even like and that's the thing. The difference is like you look at that. A lot of young like recruitment people will be looking at and that's a highlight, right? It's a highlight. You're not going to give your worst fucking things on your resume, but you just got to watch whole games, right? Whole games, see how he is under fatigue, all this sort of shit, because that's what the game is, under fatigue. He's got a skill set, lad. I've seen but he's obviously a special young kid.
Do yourself a favour and go and watch the whole games.
I'm good. I'm glad. But they've always had one of the biggest nurseries of, you know what I mean? Like just players coming through, but they somehow just get lost.
That's Harlem's point. Like that's what we're trying to get out of it. Like Ken Webby develop these young kids, make sure they stay in the system. You're going to be very pro Bulldogs because you're there.
I'm just saying,
but here's my point with it. But you can see the development of what Ciro's trying to achieve there because you're within the inner sanctum.
Yeah.
You'd like to think that Webby, because he's been at the system with Ivan, has seen the same. And we're seeing the Halasemas of the world. We're seeing the Ali Lauteas of the world. We're seeing the Taintua Pickies of the world. So there, for me, are indications
I think they should.
That the Warriors are starting to develop these kids 100%. And keep them in the system. That's my point.
And I just think, with that, right, it's an important sort of age, right? Just say when they're 18, 19, 20, and that's where they get lost, right? So if they're not playing first grade or something like that, they compare them to their mates. They might be playing first grade. The Hecka Halasemas playing first grade 19. These other kids, and then they, obviously there's a lot of shit going on other than football, right? Over in New Zealand, of course, it's always affiliated with somewhere. Your brothers, all these, there's a lot of shit
here in Western Sydney.
Yeah, it's going on everywhere, right? So to keep these kids, the number one thing is to keep them focused on rugby league. It's not the talent,
disciplined.
Yeah, it's not the talent. So that's where, therefore, the mentoring and the people around in the club to keep these kids on the straight and narrow in New Zealand, especially. Right, is so important because it is a different breed over there. But rugby league, there's no fucking doubt. They got players coming through the system, but then they somehow get lost at 21, 22.
Or get recruited.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They might just want to go do some stupid shit with their friends. Do you know what I mean? But they see it now as a proper pathway and a career where they can actually, if they discipline themselves for a while, for 10 years, whatever, they can fucking make a whole change in their whole family.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's the breeding ground of fucking the best players in the world. We grabbed Sonny Bill and fucking Roy Asatasi from there in 2002.
Yeah, look across 2001. The league. Look across the league. There's representation of Auckland,
everywhere,
New Zealand.
But it's getting them focused from
keeping them at the Warriors.
Yes, from 17, keeping them at the Warriors, and then just developing them and just having such a culture and everything that you want to stay at that club. Right? And they need to be winning games and everything like that. Then you'll keep it.
And my last little bit on it, and we'll move off, is that in 2011 you're on the right path because you had Ivan Cleary there.
Yeah.
You fucked up by letting him go. You currently have Andrew Webster there. He can take you into the promised land, re-sign him for the next 3 years and make sure he doesn't leave New Zealand. Because when you lost Ivan, you lost that development, you lost that coaching that goes all the way through the lower grades, and therefore he had a little bit more inconsistency through in those years. There were some good teams at times, but I think Webby's the guy to take you to the promised land.
But be there for at least be there for 5 to 10 years.
Give him re-sign him now.
He can change that whole team. And it's all about just keeping him there. You know what I mean? Like just developing him and people wanting to play for the Warriors because it's a fucking thing now. Playing for the Warriors, they've got the whole fucking culture thing
it's
there.
Become cool.
It's cool to play for the Warriors. You're a Warriors player, you're a fucking superstar over in New Zealand. Something that you go, fuck yeah, I want to play for the Warriors. talking, hey, the game's worth a lot of money. If I concentrate for a couple of years, don't do dumb shit when I'm 18 to like 21.
Look after your family.
Fucking no.
That's important for young Polynesian
That's very
kids.
important for the Polynesian, for the brothers and that. They look after themselves, look after their family. If you lock in, that's it. You've got to lock in, but you've got to keep people around for you to be locked in.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Get all these former players like fucking Manu Vatuvai and all these guys who's fucked up off the field. It's a great story what Manu's gone through now.
Yep.
Now it's time for our generation. We've got a big responsibility for these young kids because we can educate these kids so much.
Also,
we've got a lot of knowledge and we've fucked up a lot and we can just sit there and educate you on fucking how your career's going to go and what you need to do. If you listen, you'll get to the top. If you don't, you'll fucking be digging holes with your cousin in 2 years.
Yeah, there's definitely examples of guys that have fucked up that you can take lessons from, but also with a guy like Josh Jackson, right, who's doing your 21s.
Hard work.
A guy like Simon Mannering, he just did everything right as a Warrior.
Yep.
I don't know what Webby, if he does much with the team or what he does life after footy, but fuck, I'd be getting guys like that in there and being around guys like, because he represented the jersey better than fucking anyone. So those are other examples, guys that you can learn from lessons where that you don't fuck up twice, but Simon Mannering did everything right.
Yeah,
so
I'd have him there.
I'd be getting
him in the club somewhere.
in the club as much as possible.
Yeah.
This one comes from What the Fuckery. And I love it when our listeners get involved to pump up our partners for 2025. Mongrel Boots shout out. Been a Sparky installing solar for a few years now. Sloped roofs, heavy dew, dust, whatever it is. They grip the best and they are the best I've seen. And he also
better than the volleys.
He said better than the volleys. If Tigers were fitted with mongrel boots, Calvin wouldn't be slipping through the cracks.
Through the cracks.
That is so good. That is so good. No matter if it's work or play, Mongrel Boots has the boot for you and they're designed to be comfy as. Remember,
send this fucker out some Mongrel Boots, mate.
We head to mongrelboots.com.au to find your favourite boot and local retailer. Mace, yours are on the way. I feel like I've got to hit them up.
I've got to go. I'm going up to Les's next week.
Yeah. Well, you're right, though. I think we've got to get him
No, he needs some boots. What the fucker? He needs boots.
Lukey, you put yours to the test on the vineyards this weekend or out?
So good.
So good?
They're genuinely really comfy. They've got such a thick base. When I got them out the box, I was like, oh, what's doing here? But they're like a running shoe.
You can wear them with your jeans as well. You look cool.
Nice.
I look fantastic.
You're rocking them now. You're rocking them now, actually.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mongrel Boots.
I need some
Mongrel
Mongrel
Boots on board
bro.
for 2025. You'll get yours. They're ready to go too, by the way, mate. So
because
I'll give you the
if
number.
you don't know
after this.
people at home, I've got a brother who's a bigger brother than me. So like, if I get stuff, he takes it.
Yeah.
He bullies me.
All right, let's get to the rugby league content question. This one comes from Max Hill. G'day, people. Friendly Pom here in a rugby league convert. Only started watching this season.
Friendly Pom.
I'm done with rugby union. Rugby league is far more entertaining.
Yeah, you know
entertaining, and I've fallen in love with the NRL. It is an amazing product you lot have down under. Can you guys recommend any good documentaries about the history of rugby league and of the great players of the game? Please keep up the amazing content. Max, welcome to the good side. You've removed yourself from the dark side.
Just
of
keep
rugby
watching
union.
this fucking podcast and you'll be sweet.
You'll learn. But Lukey, you can attest to two different extremes. So go and watch the Panthers documentaries of their run. I think they did one on the run to retaining the premiership, the second one. They also did the one on the three-peat. Go and watch any of those. And then if you want to watch the extreme side of the other way, the Tiger Town documentary for me was super entertaining at the time because there's a lot of frustration. There was, they're sort of just now on the other side of that.
That's the Madge one?
The Madge season. Yeah, it was really entertaining. And they went through a really tough period. So you get an example of what it's like to be a really good organisation and just be travelling, and then some of the things you don't do and what went wrong with the Tigers. So just as for a neutral, go and give that a watch, Max. And
there's so much on, like you say, on YouTube or whatever, KO and all that kind of stuff.
Are there any other good ones that you could give a shout, boys?
Not documentaries.
The Titans one that Matthew Agponya did.
Oh, yeah.
That's
that was a good one.
That was
depends
sort of
how far he wants. Depends how far back he wants to go. He's talking about the history of rugby league and everything like that. So there's a lot on YouTube the history
We'll
of rugby
see.
league.
The difference is, I just think the quality of like the documentaries has improved a whole heap in the last 5 years.
I know that, but like,
you could probably go watch old like archives of games on YouTube for sure.
no, I'm just saying the history of rugby league. If he wants to know the history of the whole game, there's shit on YouTube that'll just show you.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah.
Can we have a look? Have you seen some stuff, and then we can get that for Thursday's episode?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. So no, like just so we can help him out with it, so we can go and because I haven't seen any of that stuff. That's my point with it.
Yeah.
Also, let's get to the pronunciation of pronunciation. I don't say pronunciation correct.
You say nunts.
Yeah, I say nounce. Pronunciation. So someone pulled me up on it as well.
Did they really?
Pronunciation? So say it.
Pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
You say pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Pronounce.
Did I say it right there?
Yeah, look, it's heaps of shit. Look, the evolution of rugby league just goes back to fucking 1908.
Is that on the NRL?
Yeah, it's on the NRL thing. Yeah. Just go on.
There we go.
The evolution of rugby league, it'll show you all the rules and everything.
Remember a few weeks back we were talking about it for the Ashes tour. You can go back and...
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Look, 1895 and all that, the birth of rugby league. It's got everything on there.
Is that on the NRL?
Yeah, no, this is just on YouTube.
But that's why I asked you the question, because like rather than just... He can go on and... So what did you type in? Sorry.
History of rugby league.
History of rugby league.
Yeah,
there you go. Go and do that.
All over that. That's all you got to do.
Find it. Because it's like a genuine question for him. So I want to just make it as easy as possible for him to go on. He seems like a genuine fan that's crossed the picket line from rugby union to rugby league. So let's make it as easy as the pronunciation of pronunciation.
What are they doing to you? What do you mean? What are you saying?
But here's a good one too.
Pronunciation?
No, I do. I fuck
pronunciation.
I say pronunciation. It's pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Kia ora, brothers. Ellen from day one wanted to say when I started watching NRL, my favourite memories of watching games on a weekend after Saturday sport was my Cowboys versus Manly games with Ray Warren commentating. His pronunciation of the Manly names would always crack me up. Watmo, Goodbye, Tamo. But then it would sometimes be what meow. Tackled by Tamau. There's always been that, right? It's like I always refer to this, like I always grew up with Justin Horo, like my whole life. Yeah. But like back home in New Zealand, and then we had Sealy come over and do it, and then just straight away when I hear him say Horo, at the start, just little things, but it's always you've got to be able to have a giggle at yourself sometimes too, right? Let's get to the games. We are here. This started on Thursday night. The Dolphins 20 defeat the Eels 16. Mace, you messaged the group on Thursday night about the physicality of the Dolphins and their line speed. So evident.
Hard, man. They got some hard hitters. Like the Juice, like Kafusi, he leads it all. Like he just hits. I don't know who he hit, but fuck, it looked like it hurt. Do you know what I mean? Like just
everyone.
Just everyone he hits. It's just, and then you got
Ray Stone.
Ray's a Ramon Stone. He's hitting you he's cutting you in half. Tom Gilbert's doing it.
Tommy Gilbert,
mate. I don't think there's that many people when I'm running. If I was getting the ball off the 9, going, what the fuck am I running at?
Yeah, where's my spot? There's no spot out there.
There's no real spot there. Like it's solid. And you try and run at the little halfback, and he'll pump you. Nick Rima, he's probably a fucking small little spot, but he gets underneath you as well. There's not many weaknesses in that side. They get their shit together. They could be a top 8 team.
Here's a comp for you for Katoa, and I threw this out on the call on Thursday night. He reminds me of the time and space that Jason Smith had. Remember when Jason Smith used to be silky, run to the line, and it felt like he was going in slow motion, but everyone else was erratic around him? That's what Katoa looks like sometimes.
That's what when we were playing him at our peak in 2004. That's what he was doing to us when he was playing for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We would be sprinting up trying to hit him. Yeah. Just pass the ball. Just pass the ball.
Show inside.
You know what I mean? Like his timing is beautiful. Beautiful. Katoa's he's on another level, man. He's got to be. What do we do with this kid in 2 years if he keeps ascending? You look over your shoulder, Moses and Cleary. They'll be looking over their shoulder, man.
He's next.
Big time. He's the next man up.
He's got next for sure.
He's definitely the next man up. And I just love the fact that he got dropped last year, went back to the lab, just worked on his game, it's round, 10 now. He's one of the best halves in the game.
He's the most informed, right?
Yeah.
Right now. Like even despite the Dolphins' inconsistencies as results.
He hasn't been.
You could argue that...
So just say last year their inconsistencies he was inconsistent.
Yeah, so I had to double check it yesterday because I was unsure because I thought he got completely dropped. Wayne dropped him to the bench but paid him like 5-10 minutes, like very little time after they got blown out against Melbourne.
Yep.
So, credit to him to just like the lack of ego, to not sulk. You know, some of these young players sometimes they get like – I reckon there's a number of players I can think of right off the top of my head that wouldn't, without naming them,
at that age,
would sulk with getting dropped.
Now they're playing in England.
He took it well, and he was good in this game without being great. There was like it was one of those games where like no one really took it from the scruff of the neck, except for like Herbie Farnworth had a huge last 30 minutes.
Must be fit, Herbie. He gets through some work, man.
Yeah,
runs hard. He must be fucking sore. Must be sore some games. He's good. He's been like a top 5 centre in the game. 3. Yeah, he's there.
Critta,
he's way up there.
I reckon Critta and him have argued.
And then third, we don't even know.
Who's clear cut third? No one really clear cut third.
It's those two.
Yeah. Critta and Herbie. But the break was good, but the tackle 1-on-1 Penasini, and I was chatting to him because I interviewed him after the game as well, but then we're just chatting in general after, and he's just like, man, we missed our OGs in the middle. Like he goes, it's just they don't really put up the mad stat sheets. Guys like
Penasini was saying.
No, this is Herbie talking about having like the juice back.
Yeah.
And he goes, they just got a presence about him. He goes, you know what it's like if you don't get it done in the middle, we can't do anything out wide.
Nah. That's the thing. Like with him, and who else did they get back? They got. So they got Kafusi back and someone else. No, they didn't really. Or did they mainly him?
So Felice Kafusi.
They come back and they just felt like they were just
They got Jeremy Marshall-King back. Daniel Saifidi still out. Plath's still out.
Okay. Just Kafusi then.
Yeah. Maybe
he just made such a difference, mate. Like just the way that his line speed from A and B, you've really got to account for that guy.
Yeah.
Otherwise your ribs are broken.
And Fox, I thought Fox went a touch early on that final pass to Dill, but in saying that, Dill's so quick.
Yeah.
Fox, we talked about Latrell before. Hammer to go like double D, sort of get twisted and still catch. He caught him with 10 minutes to go. He's so fast.
Just to watch that and him flipping his hips and doing this, staying back and then just taking care of both of them was just poetry in motion.
Yeah.
That he made that look so easy. Most people would fall over their legs. They'd twist them up, and he just went boom, boom, boom,
got him
boom.
with 10 to go.
Yep, see you later.
In the space of 20 metres. And Dill, like I keep saying, man.
Dill is fast.
Dill's fast as fuck for a 6.
He had a good game too.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Well.
And just to my part with the Eels, I know it's going to be frustrating for Eels fans, and they're watching, and it's disappointing that they're losing. There are signs. Like, I don't know who's going to be a long-term player for Royals, but we're about to find out. I feel like Riley Smith trending the right way. He had a couple moments you'd love back. Isaiah Yongi looks like the long-term fullback for him.
Yeah.
He had a couple of errors that were crucial in the end as well. Moretti looks like a player. Jordan Samrani looks like he's stuck in the back row now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not 100% whether they'll be 10-year Eels, but they're showing signs and effort that will get rewarded in the next couple of years, and you might be able to
Moretti.
see.
Moretti goes hard.
Yeah, I like Moretti too.
Samrani would be good. Like once he has a whole pre-season in the back row, a little bit more weight because I think he probably lost a bit of weight in the pre-season thinking he was going to play wing or centre.
And just stripping weight to get back from the injury
as well.
Yeah,
and then so now he can muscle up a little bit so those because he fucking runs hard.
He was running hard,
So those little fine in your fronts will be
breaks, line breaks.
Tackle breaks, line breaks, a little bit of an offload, develop that kind of thing because his skill set is limited with the passing and everything like that. So short passing game.
And even just like, and this is that any winger or centre would go through. He runs really tough lines and he runs 100. Right. When you're a back rower, you almost got to run at about 85, 90 because you got to be aware of contact. The one play where Mitch hit him, you got to be able to just absorb some contact, catch the ball, get a good catch on it, hit it, and then maybe the offload is the play. So that's the development for Sam Rani.
And that's all the little things in the back row that's vets teaching you that.
Yeah.
You know, like who's going to teach him that? You know, like Lane. I mean,
Jason. It's Jason Riles, the coaching staff. Yeah. Like you can get tips from players, but it's the same as what's Serraldo at the Bulldogs. Like he's the teachings that he's going to put down to the younger players. I'm trying to think of an example for you guys. Oh, there's multiple. There's multiple guys that improved their game under.
Yeah.
You can see that Mitch is frustrated, but the team is so much better. Like, they were back to the line speed. They were getting dominated in field position at the start of the game, and Mitch
just kicks you straight out of trouble.
Mate, there was one set that happened right in front of us. The Parramatta Eels made 12 metres off the set. Mitch got the ball on the 20-metre line and bombed it and hammer caught it on the opposition 20. It was 60 on the fly, Mace.
It's priceless. Do you know what I mean? Like, just saying the first 5 rounds, they'd be catching on the 40, getting to the 50. Then you're under the pump again.
Do you know what that is too? That's an origin kick.
Yeah, like he can just get you out of trouble so good. Like, I don't think many halves can do that. I mean, I know Birdo can.
Yep.
I'm not sure if Cleary can. If Cleary has
Birdo
that.
and Mitchie and Latrell. Maybe as a distance.
Trell, maybe.
Yeah.
But that helps so much. Like, I still think he's playing some good football, Mitch. He's still got like, how many games he had back? 3 or 4?
Third. 3 and 4 weeks because they had the bye too before Magic.
And he doesn't look like he's like missed much. He's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to see where he is.
All right, my last little one and my last little, I guess it's a criticism. It's the form of Hopgood. I think since Dylan Walker's arrived, I think Hopgood looks a little bit lost.
So what injury did he do last year?
Back potentially? Can you have a look for that, Lukey?
Yeah, it's not a lower leg injury?
I think it's less about the injury, and I think it's more about him trying to find his way now that Dylan Walker has arrived. So what I mean by that is he was the link player through the middle, but he was more of like an offload player, workhorse. I reckon Jermaine Hopgood does his best work when he just like goes balls out for 70 minutes and it's all effort and it's all stats. And now that Dylan's rocked up, he's just a little bit lost. Like, is he the ball player? Is he just punching holes?
I agree.
His stats aren't right where they used to be because he's getting 15, 20 minutes
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what his role is with the team.
That's the point. I think he's going to have to figure that out.
Yeah, like Rolsey and him needs to figure it out. Sit down and go, mate, I want you just to be like you're our starting lock. Are you the ball player? How many minutes am I playing? Because Dylan Walker seems to come on and he's getting a fair bit of minutes as well. He's getting half a game. So these guys need to split that time. Or when Dylan Walker comes on, does he go up to front row? You know, you need to switch it out like that because I think he can play front row. God,
when it's almost like he has to. I feel like Kurt Mann has that role as the ball playing middle when he's on, right?
Yeah.
But then when Bailey Hayward comes on, Kurt Mann still has that ability to do it, but he more pushes off Bailey Hayward because Bailey Hayward's more the creative sort of ball player. It's like Hopgood can go, all right, that's my role when I'm starting, but when Dylan comes on, maybe I'm just turning into another front row and just
that's what I'm thinking. Like let Dylan do the ball playing, and I'll just be like either support play with Dylan or just one off the ruck because he's fit and he's tough. Just I don't know. It's one of the things that they need to figure out because they're both good players. And, you know, he's an Origin player a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was.
Good. So he's
a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a part of their future.
I still think the injury, I don't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah, it was a back. He triggered it during Origin last year.
It's fucking still hampered him because he doesn't look like he's got that leg speed like he had a couple of years ago where he was stepping off both feet and he was offloading all the time. Yeah. He looked pretty much like some games. He was unstoppable.
It sounds pretty serious. A micro dissectomy.
It wasn't. It wasn't that's what I mean. Like your back's jacked up like that.
No preseason as well.
Yeah, and he was like, so he doesn't have that real proper leg power and everything like that. So that's what I look at him and go, he don't look nowhere near as powerful or as strong and he ain't getting separation in tackles. You know, like because of how many offloads he used to get. Yeah, why is that?
Yeah.
Separation, strength in your fucking core.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what's it might take a while for him to, you know, to try and do all that sort of stuff because when you come back from injuries, just do the basics right.
Yep, that's fair. Bit of mixture of both.
Yeah,
for sure, right?
I think, and I'm not sure if Rolsey knows. Surely Rolsey knows he's gone through all this shit.
Yeah, and they'll be figuring it out because he's a huge part of their future.
Big time.
I love him as a player.
Yeah.
Titans 24 defeat the Knights in 20.
Jeez.
A few calls went against the Titans early, but they looked, mate, totally disinterested in the first 30. Apart from Tino and shout out to Tino and De Groot. And even just specifically the week, Tino, it's been a really tough couple of weeks for Tino. Tino's best mate, or perceived to be best mate from the outside looking in, is Dave. Going through a really tough period. Tino has, without throwing Dave under the bus, supported Des at all the presses. I've watched all the presses. Tino's been, I guess.
Yeah. Club, man. Club first.
Well, I think he believes in what Des is trying to achieve with.
That's what I mean. Club
with
Dave. Club first,
and
right?
he wants the best for Dave, and he understands that he's not getting the best for Dave. But that would be tough because you know what it's like, Mace. Imagine if one of your fucking best mates, the guy you want to go to war with, is not there. So shout out to Tino for not only the game, because when the game was done, and I was looking. We did, again with Sugar and Blairy calling this game.
He was
like,
so tired.
We were like, this could be 50, and he was fucked.
Yeah, and
he was still taking a carry. I think there was a
fuck on his stats. Go.
Before they made the break, he made a carry and got the bumpers up. Found an offload for potentially De Groot or Brimson, and then and then JC knocked it on because JC had a tough 30 minutes.
Yes.
But he just kept on going, and he eventually, I've never seen a player in the middle.
Yeah, 244 metres. Yeah.
I've never seen a player that I can remember in a performance will his team from a deficit the way that Tino did.
Yeah, I agree. He was so close to the OG bull, my bull of the week, but like there were so many others, obviously Critta, but like that performance, right? And I always pick who they're playing against. The Knights are, they're all right, but they don't have the toughest pack out there, and he is just an absolute weapon. He's a weapon. He's worth every single cent. What he gives them for that jersey, and it's unbelievable. I can't give him a big enough rap. He's top 3 best forward in the game in the world.
He's so good to watch.
Probably the best at the moment.
De Groot was the only other player during that period, and he got, I guess, the fruits of De Groot at the back end. But it was them two just willing their team to hang in there for that period where they could have got blown out by even more. Because defensively, I reckon the Knights really tested Jaden Campbell. They went after him. They made a conscious effort to target him, and they had some joy there. But when Titans finally got on the front foot, you could tell that the aura or the presence of Campbell was huge in getting them back in the game and then going on a bit of a run. So it's like he's one game back removed from a syndesmosis.
Yeah, it was good that he copped it. He looked really, really bad in the first 30. I was like, fuck, they're picking on him.
Yeah.
I said it on the group. I said, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's having a terrible game, terrible start defensively, and just little things weren't coming off. And it's good for him mentally to go through that and to come out the other side with the win, especially up there. Do you know what I mean? It was
Newcastle at home, McDonald Jones Stadium, 20-0 up.
Getting done, and then you're playing fucking one of your worst games, and then all of a sudden, you come out of it.
Yeah.
And you start getting momentum, you start getting belief. Brimson, all these blokes, mate, they are so annoying, the Titans, how they play. 20-0 down, we're just sitting there going, all right, I back the Knights, sweet, cool. And then they just come back with that, and I'm like, they're going to win this game. They're going to win this. And if I'm the Knights, I'm just sitting there going, how did this happen?
Brimo 100% benefits by having Jaden Campbell back.
Yeah, exactly. He's so dangerous, that guy.
Yeah, I don't know if Brimo, I still don't think Brimo's a 6, but Brimo's a way better 6 with Jaden Campbell at 7. We'll see what happens. I think Foz is a chance for coming back this week as well. So, it'd be interesting to see where Des plays him. They need to get more off their bench, though. So I was looking down at I was just trying to think of any because Tino went so well, and I thought Mo was huge as well, especially in his second stint. Okay. And it was noticeable. I was like,
geez, not much of a...
Yeah, have a look at the bench. So Chris Randall, who is basically a hooker.
I like Randall.
Hits too. Hard. He plays 36 minutes for him off the bench. Tino's brother Isaac played 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
6 minutes. The other, Adama Ho, he plays 12 minutes. And Josiah Pahulu in his first game back, he has to be the guy. Now, I know a lot of benches will be similar in terms of time, but they need to be better with that. That's really bad, right? But I think Pahulu has the potential to give him a good 25 to 30.
Easy.
And they need someone to just help out Tino and Mo, because Tino and Mo can't do that every week.
Not all year.
No.
Not all year. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
And Mo was 65.
Yeah, Pahulu, I think last year he was playing some pretty big minutes. I reckon he can get 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It just
That's
depends.
his first game.
Yeah, that just depends. But these other guys need to get more time. That's terrible. Like, what is Tino and Mo playing? 70 minutes, 75 minutes?
So Tino was 75.
Both in the middle, doing so much work.
Mo was 65.
Mo does a lot of work. And then these two are going to be involved in Origin. These two will be in the Origin team.
Yeah, Mo will be there.
Mo played 3 games last year, so he should be there.
Yep.
Tino's going to be there. What do you do then?
Yeah, they'll go through.
What do you do then?
That'll be tough for them. Potentially even Bo for more as well.
Yeah.
Bo was okay in this game, not great.
Yeah.
Let's get to the Knights. They should have won comfortably. They were dominating on the left edge. They were really attacking JC. But from the top, watching it, there was so much joy and spacing around the left edge of the Titans. And I could see KP was getting frustrated with KPP, as in Kai Pearce-Paul, about just timing. And I was trying to figure out, as good of a player as I think Kai Pearce-Paul is for him, it's sort of just they haven't figured it out.
He wants early ball all the time. He doesn't hit holes.
Yeah, but even when he does hit a hole, right, there'll be the odd occasion where he decides, all right, to either get early ball and tuck it, and then he runs in and he'll be standing there like this, and no one's pushing on him. It's a weird...
Yeah, it is, but he needs to be thinking... Run first, then offloads will come.
Yeah.
When you're that big, and when you're getting, like, just say if you're getting early ball, you're getting the ball at the line, because you're that long and strong, just hit outside in lines or whatever you got, and then the ball can present itself.
Okay, gotcha.
Don't fight in there. You know what I mean?
I've got the same frustrations watching Olakau'atu.
That's what I mean. So when Olakau'atu, we'll get to Olakau'atu's thing, you can't do all this fancy shit, mate. You just got to be like because he's getting quality ball off KP. Outside in lines, then you'd have guys pushing up when you're inside, but you need run first mentality.
He doesn't want to run that fucking hard
it's a
one.
brave line, mate.
Yeah.
Brave line.
Yeah. That's why we sort of froth, I guess, for me and you, when people talk about ratings, we always put Liam Martin high.
Have a look at that guy.
We put Britton Nikota high.
Yeah.
Why? Because they'll run the fucking courageous line, won't they? Yeah.
Not sitting there stepping around. They know if you're a defensive player, you know where they're going.
You know what it is the nature of too with some of these big boys like even Viliami Kikau used to have a tendency at Penrith to be like this as well. And he's got so much better at it because you can still have that joy that he had in the game if early on when you Viliami Kikau's of the world, Ali Katoa's, Hamolio Olakau'atu's, Kai Pearce-Paul's, for years halves would have just gone in when they were younger. Here you go. Bang, throw it to them, run over someone, skittle them, offload or score a try. It's the NRL. Yeah. Now people can defend a little bit better. You can still have those moments in games, but they've got to get that punch in there. You've got to
get that run game going first. Your first 3, 4, 5 hit-ups need to just be like either hitting outside in lines, early ball, do whatever you want. None of this fancy shit trying to play on short sides with these, 3-on-2s within 5 metres. It just doesn't happen like that.
Again, let's go back to some criticism. You just talked about the middles before, getting rolled by Tino. I've got some stats for you here off the back of this. And this has been repetitive now for the Knights. And their halves, there were moments I thought Cogger could have just been a little bit better in this game. But when you have 10 errors from your back 5, that reminds me, and I wrote this down watching it, it reminds me of the Cowboys last year. Remember when the Cowboys, so you'd look at Jeremiah Nanai, you'd look at Jason Tomalolo, you look at Griffin Neame, you look at all these players and you go, geez, their efforts are sloppy defensively. But fucking Murray Talangi was dropping it twice. Val was dropping it a couple of times.
They've got another one there now as well.
Who's that?
The young kid for the Cowboys.
Purdue?
No, the fucking
we'll get to him in a
poor
bit.
little bugger.
Kentucky Derby.
Oh, the fucking Terence Trent Derby. Jeez, he had a game he'd want to forget. I felt sorry for him. I was just get me off.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to that's what it reminds me of when Drinky would kill it, as in kill all momentum with a stupid error, and he's playing so much better. But the Cowboys of last year or the year before, I think it was 2023. It's like your middles are gassed and your halves can't do anything because you keep fucking turning the ball over.
No respect for the ball.
No respect.
And that's what happened with the Knights. And this is what happens. And if you give these teams like the Titans a little bit of a sniff, they score one try, a little bit of belief, more momentum. Next minute it's fucking 20 all. Because you're coming out of yardage and you just simple drops. Fucking hold the ball. That's it. Get out of yardage, get to a kick, get back in the whole fucking high speed grinds. That's what they need to do.
I'll tell you who's a really important player for him. I reckon when Jacob Saifidi left the field for him, so noticeable. And it's because of the makeup of their bench too. So if you look at their bench, they've got Brodie Jones, Croker and Elliott. They're all locks.
Yeah.
Now, I know small ball can work for other teams, but I reckon the Bulldogs are exception because it's more about the system.
The defence.
And so teams are trying to copy it and go a little bit more small ball, but the Knights are really lacking because they don't have the systems for that. They're not coached that way.
See, they're small, but they're not that small. Jones he's about 106 kilo. Croker, Elliott, they're small in stature, like height wise, but they're not.
I know.
They're not like your Kurt Manns and Kurt Morans and all that. They're a little bit smaller.
But I don't think they have the system for even just that small of a bench.
No.
So they don't know how to work it right, and they don't know how to work for each other. So I reckon they're missing another prop on the bench that can take a little bit of sting out of the game. All right, let's get to the Rabbitohs 22 defeating the Broncos 14. Trell Mitt was my OG bull for sure. But Kaloa Matangi, for me, was the best on field. And because I interviewed him last year after the game, where they beat you guys in the Bulldogs. I was at that game last year, and I asked him, and I just thought he was just trying to be humble. You know, when you ask a player what's their best position, does he like edge or middle? I think he's a middle.
Yeah, same.
I think he's a middle now.
I'd put him on the bench for Origin. In front of I think a couple of players that I would have had on the bench for New South Wales simply on the weekend.
Couple of weekends
of football. I've seen enough. I wouldn't be picking them. Would not, especially if you're looking for genuine middles who can play. He can genuinely play in the middle, left edge and right edge.
Yeah.
So there's no real the difference between him and Olakuatu. Olakuatu's a right edge player. Yep. He wouldn't even know what the fucking other side of the field looks like.
He definitely doesn't have the reps over there.
That's only because of the way that Manly play.
Yeah.
Right, where Kaloa Matangi can play right edge, left edge, and in the middle.
Do you know what benefits Keon? Over the last couple of years, they've had so many injuries, and he's had to Mr. Fix It for him. Yeah. And even so, I reckon he's the player that's, I guess, as a team and individual, look the worst without Cam Murray because there are so many poor efforts around him at South Sydney with lazy efforts. Especially when Cam Murray's missing it, and it makes Keon look like he's struggling at times. But Keon is so much better than people give him credit for.
Looks fit too. Looks motivated. He looked good.
Jamie Humphries.
I like him, man. It's just something. He just looks fucking. He's a footy player.
He's only 7 games in, or 6 or 7 games. He's a winner.
I think he's like played 50.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
He won his game at Manly. He's fucking 2 or 3 from 3 to start the season. So I think he's only got 5 or 6 games.
If you look at the camera when it's far away from the team, he looks like Cam Murray.
Yeah, he does.
He's got the hair and everything like that. He's always doing this.
Yeah, we've talked about Sullivan as well. So just want to give him credit because I reckon after, gets a stiff arm from Piakura like on the halfway line, Payne goes straight through him.
Yeah.
I reckon he would have gone into a shell in years past. Like he's not making those tackles one-on-one with Piakura close to the line.
Nah.
If not for Wayne and the development and where he's at now. So credit to him.
And the confidence that they put in him. Wayne just went, hey, get your body in front. Get your body in front. That's what happens, all the young halves. Like if you don't put your body in front of these big boys, they will run straight over you or through you. They've all got footwork, right? You're not just running at these guys aren't just running at you. They're just late footwork, moving their hips a little bit with fucking palms like big stiff arms like that. Like you've got to be in. You've got to put your body in front. Otherwise, you'll end up like he did a couple of times. Then he fucking made up for it.
Do you know put their body in front? Poor Lockie Hubner.
Jeez, he's fucking...
Was Payne trying to run in every single time?
It's another Wayne Bennett gem.
Hubner looks fatigued running out of the tunnel.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm going to be making 70 tackles. Oh, mate. He looks fatigued running out of the tunnel.
I reckon...
Like a warm-up gets him. He's just fucking...
Mate, he just keeps
700 tackles in a warm-up.
He keeps turning up. He just keeps... Payne was running and picking him out every time.
You need a Hubner, don't you?
Getting those bumper bars right into the chest, and he just kept on turning
and
up.
On his shoulders and just in the chest. Like he must be just fucking after the games going, Payne Haas, get away from me. Just nightmares. But every team needs a Hubner.
Every team needs a Hubner.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's just unassuming, just fucking hits he's got really good tackle tech too.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the Broncos.
Yeah,
genuine question.
What happened?
Did the Broncos like footy IQ?
You wouldn't think so. Having Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds.
I don't doubt whether Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds like footy IQ. I just think as a team and some of the individuals, and it sounds harsh, and the average fan might not understand what I mean because we all do video review, we all watch games. There are some that are definitely more fans than others, and I remember this, and it was Willie Tonga asked me a question once he arrived to Parramatta and we're going through a tough period, and he's like, "There's no footy IQ in this team," and I was like, "So you sort of take it, you get your chest up a little bit," and I sort of like didn't know, and I didn't know what he meant by it. This is 2011. We went through a tough period because I'm like, man, we've got Hindy in the team, Birdie, Hainesy's played at the top level, and it's just like understanding, even aside from like talented players, how to win games, and how you can win in different forms. And I didn't understand it until I went to Manly, and then I got to Manly and I was like, "Are you sweet?"
Lukey just farted. Why is that funny at fucking 45? Grow up.
You're fucking sweet.
He's coming.
Surely just went outside too.
He just went out and just fucking.
That's what the Broncos fucking attack looks like sometimes. That Lukey's fucking ass.
Right, yeah. Do you
know what I mean by that, mate?
Fucking 100%, mate. Tong played with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like shifty, and like he played with a bunch of forwards. Like, you know, it was Sonny Bill and myself and Mark O'Mealy and Roy Pricey. Like we all fucking understood the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we knew we knew little things. You know, that's what he's talking about with IQ.
Were you even trying to hold it in, or did you just rat's ass?
Yeah, I was just sitting down. And just, when you sit down, you
try to do a squat. Imagine you doing a squat at the gym. And oh shit!
You got to keep that up too.
Yeah, you're not
That's
fucking
gone.
Nah.
That never happened.
You fucking got to keep that in. If you're willing to take the mickey out of us, when you've got to keep something in for yourself, come on.
Yeah, mate, come on.
You got him with the desktop last week. You got to keep that in.
I love the desktop. I know exactly what Tong's talking about with IQ, and sometimes I look at their team now, and I'm like, you got Carrigan playing wrong. I think he's the best lock, one of the best locks in the game.
Agreed.
You got to start Jensen with Payne. Jensen can play that easy. Have Hendrickson come off the bench and just tackle everything, be like a brick wall like he is.
Yep.
Payne Haas, and then you got Jensen. Jensen can take that first one, Payne Haas, and then Carrigan gets on the back like that third prong, and he can get a little bit wider. He can ball play. He can run. He can hit. He can get a little bit wider and ball play with Piakura, ball play with Ricky. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He can't be taking first and second hit ups. I know he can because he's a tough prick, right?
No, but what I was just about to jump in and say, but like those are selection things that can be changed from the coach.
Yes.
I'm more looking at like it doesn't matter where you play these guys right now, and it's almost would be frustrating for Madge. I reckon Madge has got a huge job.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to their development and coaching over the last couple of years. I think is something that is going to take time. And people have been, criticising.
Give an example, but with the IQ, what sort of IQ don't think
just
they have?
Understanding game management, like parts of the game, like where you've and I've said this before, trying to score on the first play off a scrum. And that was a criticism when Walshy was playing. But there are other times in games, in this game, where you're like, and you can see Reynolds gets frustrated.
Yeah, because he's smart.
Because he knows what's required in big games. He's been there and he's done it at South before. I've sort of just got to have a proper look and rewatch the video. But understanding game management, game situations, scoreboard, all those
where
sorts
you
of things.
are on the field, what time's left on the clock.
There you go. There's a good one. Thanks for that. You helped me out with it. So rather than taking a carry, and it is you can get 15 metres if you go swerve away from a defender, A, B or defender, and you might make 15 metres to the left, but you've got off the spot that's required to set the shape. Broncos do that all the time.
All the time.
Or they don't get in the right positions, and you can see that they've got a potentially looking to get a play on, and it might sound crazy to people, but there's a specific number or person you want to get involved in a tackle. And just because they're big, strong, powerful athletes like Payne, I'm talking about Xavier Willison, I'm talking about Piakura, I'm talking about Jordan Ricky. And not to say like they don't understand the game, but there are moments during games where I'm looking like they fucked it up there.
Yeah.
Like I could see what they were trying
when
to
they
build.
can't just say if they get a drop play, like Reno or Ben Hunt's dropping you so you can be fucking straight on that line.
Get into 3 and 4
so
men.
we can have a shift and have a 4-6 split. And so we can have a bit of a long shot at you. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But we're not trying. You don't go any further from that line. Don't try and get to the post more.
Yeah.
Because then you're just going to have a 5-5 split or a 6-5 and it fucks the whole thing up for a lot of players, right? That's why you see halves go, fuck.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that for? You know, like Willison comes off the bench, he comes off, he'll step across, he'll think he'll step across, he thinks he's beaten some players. Next minute he's in the middle of the field. I'm not saying it was Willison or someone else, you know, like you just
about 5 or 6 of them every week.
All the time, right? And it's just like that would be frustrating for Reynolds because he knows exactly you lay the line so we can have a shot at him on the right side or the left side. If we see you go to the black dot, get to the fucking black dot and play the fucking thing there. Yeah, and that's when you're trying to either spot up of like the fullback who's in the front line, get him involved there, and someone out the back, and all that sort of stuff that Penrith do. So I get it with all that kind of shit, but back to what I was trying to say with Carrigan, I think they just don't look as fucking dangerous, right? Like Payne Haas looks like Payne Haas, right?
Yep.
But Carrigan is tough as hell, and you're putting him in a position where you're not really getting his best
value.
Like he's like 2-3 years ago, like him playing lock with the 13 on his back, right? You got 8 on your back, it's a different mentality. Right?
For sure it is.
Yeah, so he's playing his part, him and Payne. Payne's that guy, but they need Jensen to start. And because he does a job for him.
He was solid.
You know what I mean? And then you put Carrigan at lock, and Carrigan can get a little bit wider. He can start having combinations with his back rows because Ricky never gets the fucking ball. And Piakura or Willison they can build those combinations there. You know what I mean? They both hit holes pretty well, but no one's giving him the ball because Hetherington ain't doing it.
No,
you know what I mean?
Linking,
Ricky, so there's no connection with the back row. Like whether it be Piakura, he's just getting the ball just one off, like just bang bang and just one-on-ones. Ricky gets fuck all ball. You know what I mean? Or he gets turned under just the ladle line so they can go left.
Yep.
It's very predictable.
Yeah.
It's not hard to defend. They're very hard to when Payne Haas is on him in one of those moves, it's fucking hard to handle Payne Haas.
Yeah.
But if you just fucking front load into him and just put all your energy into Payne, there's not much else you can fucking have to worry about.
Yeah, if you weather the storm of Payne Haas and then control the ruck decent enough.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, another thing that's not working that I've noticed, and this is a criticism more of Reynolds now and Hunt, is that when they get into positions and they finally get the shape, they look very predictable. Like the drops and the dummy drops are way more predictable than, say, for example, when I watched on the weekend Katoa. When Katoa took it to the line, you know how like every half has some shape where they go, look.
What about with that? What about the look at when he did that?
Silky.
Katoa did that.
But like I was like, oh, he's going to – no, he didn't. And then he goes out the back. Whenever I watch sort of Reynolds and Hunt this year, it's like dummy drop. You can see that dummy drop. That's the one that he drops. Like you can see it coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's
and it's not hard to defend. It's not hard to defend when they're just dropping you off. You know, like the players defensively. You just come in, boom, legs, get around the ball, wrap it up, slow play the ball, and then it's just So they need to really fucking mix it up. And I just think the whole thing is coming off Carrigan. You need to put Carrigan back at 13.
Okay.
You got to do it. And you put Hetherington off the bench and put Hetherington at prop.
Yep.
And because you need Carrigan a little bit wider. And on those third tackles, on the third tackle, right, you get more yard. You get to see the field a lot better than because he's just thinking, I'm front row, I just got to go. He's banging in play ones, play twos. It's not ball playing at all. And he's fucking awesome when he's ball playing.
Change the number, change the mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just think, and then I think they'll be a lot better. They'll just look a lot more dangerous because Carrigan, like just say, I don't care how big and strong you are, even like Payne Haas can be handled and Tino and Carrigan, you can be handled by three players. Like get into you, but if you're on that third play, a little bit wider.
Yeah.
The gaps are a little bit wider.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And he's a good ball player. How many times you see him skip over, boom, hitting fucking Piakura or Jordan Ricky? Like Jordan Ricky goes out there. All he fucking does is kick chase.
And tackle.
He would be sick of that shit.
Yeah.
He come into the game and he was a grouse attacker. Now it's just like fucking, what are we doing out here?
Yeah, fair point.
You know, like he's got everything. He looks the fucking part. He's built like fucking Tarzan. You know what I mean? But like, fuck. He's too busy getting his fucking tips done.
But what?
his hair.
Oh, his hair. I didn't even. I was like tip sheet or something.
He's getting his tips.
So Benny Hunt, he could. 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 He co He looks like he's going to be missing some time. Ezra Mam.
Shayback.
He played for, do you know Justin Hodges and Carmichael Hunt?
Yeah, the coaches.
Coach South Slogan?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew Carmichael was coaching a couple of years ago, but I thought it was Burleigh, but I didn't know they're doing like the combination thing.
Yeah, Tong told me.
Yep. So anyway, on the weekend, they won 66-10. Ezra scored a try.
Close.
And then he got a spell after 45 minutes because I think it just blown out and Madge was watching. So do we see Ezra Mam this week?
No, because his first tackle was a high contact.
Yeah, but he hasn't been suspended yet.
Is he suspended?
That's what I read.
No, yeah, I watched it. There was not much in it.
All right.
It was
fucking if he's not suspended, he comes straight back in.
Yeah. Check it. So what's today? No, they'll probably have a judiciary Monday, Tuesday as well. It wasn't bad. I watched it.
Is it be the Queensland judiciary?
And it's Queensland Cup.
No, I'm just saying if it's Queensland Cup, he's playing. Right?
No.
It's worked out.
It wasn't even
he's done his time.
Yeah.
He's done his time.
It was his first tackle of the game, so it became an article, but then I watched the hit and it wasn't that bad.
Done his time.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully he's a better human out of all this. Comes back, pillar of the community, does everything right, and that's a learning lesson for him. Just be better at shit like that. Don't ever do that again. Get back into the NRL because it's a privilege to play in the NRL. Don't just fuck around and think it's just normal. You know, it's a privilege to play in our game and act accordingly.
Well said.
So I just think get back into the team. Don't fucking say a word. Let your footy do the talking.
Yeah, you'd not like to think you'd be on a media ban for the whole season.
Madge will protect.
Latrell's on one.
Once he starts.
He did a presser a week and a half, 2 weeks
ago.
ago.
I don't think. Yeah.
Who Latrell did?
No, Ezra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But I would for now.
Once he gets back, I think if he's back in the team this week, he'll probably have to say something and then end it.
I wouldn't even let him just.
Yeah, I know. It'll be. This will depend on Madge. Depends what Madge wants out.
Do you know the difference is Wayne's got the power to do that.
Wayne
and the
will
media not say anything, and Latrell just do.
That is the difference, right?
So Madge, whether he's got.
So Madge goes, "You're not saying anything."
I'd do that.
I would too, just to protect him.
Here we go. We had a message on YouTube, and I said, I don't know if Lukey's seen this one. The Bulldogs 32 defeat the Raiders 20. This one comes from Samuj. This isn't a question but a comment. I'm writing this comment 5 minutes into the Canberra Doggies game, and the Doggies will not win the comp this year. The defence can be bullied. They can be beaten through the middle. Also, can Mace tell me why Doggies fans are so proud of the blue and white for stealing Panthers coaches and players? 75 minutes later, Samuja was back on. Just coming back on to this one on the off chance you guys call me out.
Oh, yes.
The Dogs still suck. No regrets. You ain't winning anything this year. Panthers B-side. You guys are like processed food. Ain't nothing homegrown.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Oh, Samuj.
Yeah, Samuj, I don't give a fuck about your comment, mate.
Samuj. Bulldogs won. Panthers drew.
Yeah.
And nothing against the Panthers, but Samuj.
Just suck it up, Samuj.
We did call you out.
Yeah.
We did call you out.
Your comments suck.
Anyway, let's get to the Bulldogs.
But, yeah, I mean.
Huge win, mate.
Huge win. Like, I was watching it and I was just like, fuck, can we win the comp? Like, this has happened twice now. And I'm like, Brisbane did it to us. And I'm like, fuck, surely we've learned from, how to stop the momentum or something like stop the bleeding, weather the storm, get back into the high speed grinds and all this kind of stuff. And it was just like, fuck, it's 20-0, right?
Even against the Broncos, you come out and started the second half well, but then weren't able to still get the win. It was too much.
Yeah, it was a little bit too much. But and we didn't come out in the second half with what Critta did. Do you know what I mean? It was just a perfect storm. But I thought it was happening again. I was like, all right, big, strong, aggressive, fast team that just blew us off the field again. I said that must be our Achilles heel.
Yep.
Must be the Achilles heel. And I went,
that's probably what Samuj was thinking.
Yeah, well, of course he is. You can say whatever he wants. No one cares. But I was just like, okay, well, how do we get this? You just got to try and get back into the game, and hopefully our gun players do something. That's all I was hoping. Get back into the game, let our fucking class players do something. And they did.
Well, your OG Bull started it. Critta started it on the right, and then Kicks finished it. When fully fit, their edges are top tier. Like
even Birdo played outstanding. The first half, he was fucking ordinary.
No Jacob Preston.
Nah. And
that's a huge win, mate.
Massive win, mate.
Massive
we were like Tupanul, Preston.
Yep.
Who else was out?
Curran. Hughes hasn't played all year.
I think that's so about three. Yeah. So yeah, it was a massive win. Like even I thought, if we could go down there and be a real competitive game and, 20-16.
That's right. You said you just didn't want to get blown out.
Just no blowouts. And I was looking at that and go, fuck, this could be anything. Then to come back out, I don't know what the fuck Ciro said at half time, or our mentality was just to go out there and probably just score first, Don't let them score. Otherwise, 24, 26 nils, you're done.
I reckon remove the result from it and just go out and play hard.
Go out there, play your ass off, see what happens, and then it just went fucking bang. 36 unanswered.
Connor Tracy.
Yeah, beast.
Fuck, we've got some good fullbacks in the game.
Yeah.
But what Connor Tracy is doing at the moment reminds me of, and here's my comp, and I reckon you'll appreciate this one. You know when you've got like running backs in the NFL and they bell cow running backs at college, and then by the time they get to, say, the NFL, they look tired at like 25, 26, 27.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke's the perfect comp. Great comp. There have been some that have benefited and some that get to the age of 28, 29 where they starting to look a little bit tired, look a little bit fatigued. Because Connor Tracy's only been a full-time fullback over the last couple of years, at 28, he looks like he's got plenty of juice in him.
He's peaking.
He's peaking right now. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying he's Dylan Edwards, but there are Dylan Edwards-like traits in Connor Tracy where you go, man, if he was to be in contention in the next year, if he can keep up this form, because he had a strong 2024 and even better 2025 and on a nice run like now, and he wouldn't be in contention, don't get me wrong, but if he continues it next year, he can start applying pressure. I'm telling you.
Same hairline as Dylan.
Same hairline, same stat line.
Yeah.
It looks like he really gets the defensive line set at the Bulldogs.
I just love how he just takes every meter, right?
Just humble.
Kick it.
Both him and Dylan Edwards.
Nothing. He doesn't you wouldn't think that he has an emotion in his body.
No. Same still.
And he fucking gets pumped sometimes, cops his legs.
Yep.
He
Tough
he organises well in defence. He does everything that a Bulldog, he's just like a little bit like a Luke Patton, right?
He's got a bit of general.
Like the general. General's a little bit quicker. But Connor Tracy, mate, he's the truth. He's good. I love watching him play. He's very unassuming, really good kid. Just loves it. And I thought, we were after him for a couple of years, and I kept watching him at Cronulla. I'm like, fuck, he'd be a good buy. He'd just be good. He's just had, every time he played for Cronulla.
Did you think he was going to be the answer at fullback?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I honestly did. We had Hayes Perham there last year, and he's a good kid, but I'm just like, we need someone else. Just to take the meters and just be that guy on the outside, a little bit of pace, fit as hell, just doesn't stop, relentless, good ball skills, he's got it all. He just needed opportunity.
Yep.
And we're the best thing for him.
Yeah, I had my doubts on whether you could win a comp, and I've still slightly...
It's fucking there, bitch. It's there. You know what's there? You know why there's doubts? Because a half like that. What if they come out and did the exact same thing and we were off? Do you know what I mean? You can't let a team get 20-0 on you. You know what I mean? That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. It's happened twice when the Bronx got us. It was like we just didn't know how to. It's not like we didn't know. It just fucking happened. Everything was happening for them. Boom, boom, try. Next 18-0, 20-0. The Bronx had us like that as well. It's like, we've got to stop that from fucking happening against these bigger, stronger physical sides. Because that's going to be the Achilles heel. Because a lot of teams are going to be going that when they get us in the semi-finals. Happened last year against Manly. It's straight through the teeth. Right? So guys like Max King and Sam Hughes and all the middles, they've just got to be like, we just got to go mental. Everything. Put everything in. Because everything else is fine.
My hesitancy to declare you guys as a genuine threat was, I can see the system. I love the coach. I can see the small ball system working and getting better. My concern was over whether I thought Connor Tracy is a premiership winning fullback and Toby Sexton is a premiership winning half. They're starting to win me over. I'm starting to believe, and I reckon even the most optimistic Bulldogs fans still have their concerns.
Still have concerns over everyone has concerns over Sexton.
Sexton, and I think Tracy's more.
I'm fucking sweet with Tracy.
I think Bulldogs
Tracy's
fans
there.
Sexton is still the one.
Sexton is the one. Like I'm on a lot of group chats with fucking random Bulldogs fucking fans. I'm gonna just get included in their fucking. It's
legit.
It's legit. Yeah.
Shout out to Ahmed and the boys.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, it's just like 300 like Bulldogs fans. It's mental. They'll all like they're very like Sexton. This that like they point it all out. That Connor Tracy, they fucking love Tracy.
Yeah,
he's their dude. But everything else, it gets. Just need a fucking halfback.
Yeah,
like he's doing a job, mate. He's doing a job. What? He ain't JT or Joey, but like, mate, you got to get a couple. Just do your job. He can do his job, make his tackles, and like that's all right. Could win a comp with that.
I think so. I'm warm in there. I like the kid too. So. I like
great human. So he's very beloved at that club. They'll protect him. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're a 3-man, you get spotted up in defence and that. Yeah, come over and they clean blokes up for him.
He's got Critta and Preston. He's good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and you got like Presto there. Like Critta's there. As you said, like people just come in. Max King comes over, protects. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Speaking of protecting, you're going to need to protect yourself. I was thinking about the teams as I was watching this game unfold in the second half. Bailey Hayward.
Yeah, I like him.
He's going to be a top target for the new teams.
I like Bailey because I love about him because I told you. Remember, like, there's the main sheds like where the top 30 are, and he's always been in the other one where it's the old dressing sheds, right? And it's got our like all of us got our own lockers, all the former players. All the former greats, and he's always been in that one. Him and Kurt Moran and Harry Hayes and all that. So when I go in the train, I would just sit in my locker and always used to talk to him.
Yeah.
And this is before he even played first grade.
Yeah.
Ankle injury, fucking just all these things that were just busting him because he was the next big thing coming out of like.
Was he?
Yeah, sort of like he was our next guy out of the junior system, but injury, and then. They kept buying other players and he gets set back and they didn't know what position he was because he's a halfback 5'8".
He said that. We interviewed him yesterday. I think
his skill set is very high.
I reckon he'd be a silky 9, full-time 9.
Yes, yeah, easily. I think he could do that. And then like
him and Reedy are both available to November 1. They're both like that's a huge decision for where
big decision for the club, because I think he can play multiple positions, but if we really want to, we'll see how Reedy does at the end of the year if he wants to stay or if we want to keep him or if he wants to go somewhere else or
I think you can only keep one of them. That's the thing.
And Bailey Hayward's going to be
23, 24. Could have age on his side, versatility. Yeah.
And really just a great human, just like persisting. That's what it is. Resilience and persisting because he could have easily just went, fuck. Not in the top 30. I'm still grinding. You know what I mean? I'm playing reserve grade most of the year. This is like 22, 23. I'm injured. Fucking syndesmosis this week, wrist the next week, all this kind of stuff. And then the last couple of years, I don't think he's missed a game.
He's good.
And he's a local junior.
Raiders. Do they let this linger or they bounce back? Because they did this to the Dolphins 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Down 28-10 at halftime. And then they put on something crazy like, I think they got to 40 in the end, 40-28 or maybe something. No.
Weird, isn't it?
It was like a 30-28. Anyway, they went unanswered in the second half. Raiders just absolutely smacked them. And the Dolphins sort of just getting out of that, fucking recovering from that now.
Yeah.
Do you envision this affecting the Raiders or Ricky be able to motivate them and get them ready for this week?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you look at where we end up getting back into the game was back 5 mistakes. Like the Savage kid, like he's an absolute talent, but fuck, mate, you cannot come out of yardage and have a clean drop twice. And we end up scoring, I think, to offload both those.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like basic fundamentals. It's not like he didn't want to catch the ball.
No,
Come on.
Course not.
Of course he did. He's trying to make a play for his team, but catch the ball first, right? Little things like that.
It's an immaturity error.
Yeah,
right?
it's just like, you know, your timing off the 9. It's just like if you're coming off the wing for that, your timing needs to be impeccable. The ball needs to be a little bit. Yeah, fair enough. One of those balls could have been better, but you've got fucking great hands, son. You catch it.
You could see how frustrated he was, right? Did you see him? Who was it on the ground when he was picking him up and like sort of, and the Bulldogs player just had his hands out? Was it Harry Hayes potentially?
Big Harry Hayes. Yeah.
Maybe like someone in the fans, someone in the comments will let us know. Here's what the Bulldogs did well. Yeah. The Canberra Raiders won both the Broncos game at the start of the year down at GIS Stadium and last week against Melbourne Storm in Magic Round with niggle. Yeah. They got in the face. They tried to roll up the both teams and they got a victory. Yeah. Ciraldo had no buy-in. So there was a couple of occasions, even when the week go to Doug went over for his try. See how late Tom Starling come in at him when he was on the ground? Yeah. And Reedy was right there. And if Reedy, of all players, didn't pick him up and they sort of just gave him a little spray and then they quickly realised there was clearly a message from Ciraldo, don't buy into their shit.
Because they get off on that. Canberra.
They love it. They love thrive in it.
Huddy Young just goes to another level.
Xavier Savage is picking up a Bulldogs player on the ground after that error because he was frustrated and he's just got his hands out like this and they all just copped it. And from an outsider looking in, you're going, the Raiders are trying to bully him. Like, nah, the Bulldogs have mentally got it over him here.
And that's, a couple of little things where, you know, like just Canberra, they'll be pissed off with this game.
Big time.
Pissed off at themselves. Like, we had that game. We had them 20-0. You know, we should never let them score like that many fucking points unanswered.
They're still dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. But
they're still a dangerous team.
They're a very dangerous team. They're a very good team. That 40 minutes that they put together against us was fucking outstanding.
Their edges are vulnerable, but so you talked about like Critta having joy. I think the right edge for them, Fogarty, Timoko and Savage, teams are going to target that edge. There's some joy to be had.
So what was Critta's edge? It was Sebastian Chris to Tamale.
Yeah, and also Strange got a little bit fucking, again, a young person just trying to solve everything by himself. He would have been getting a spray from the middle. It was about their contact. The one that really opened it up for everything was when he tried to shoot out of the line and smack Toby. Yeah. And Toby drops Critta back underneath, left a huge hole. Yeah. Huddy Young gets a stiff arm, and then they just never recovered.
Nowhere near. They just shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. Little defensive systems like that, that's out of the system. You're going out of the system to try and solve it. That's wrong.
I think
you don't do that.
I think the one that turns up week in, week out, though, is Fogarty. He's a really good defender if you run at him. He doesn't have the mobility, and it puts Timoko and Savage under the pump, and they make bad decisions. If I'm a team, I'm attacking that edge. Yeah, that's where you can have some joy.
Yeah, and they can either turn that into a strength, or you're just going to get targeted. And I just think Ricky is one of those coaches. He's going to make it a strength because they're good defenders. Like Strange is a good defender, and so is fucking Fogarty.
Yep,
they're both good defenders. They just don't do stupid shit like that.
Well, they make bad reads.
Yeah.
So physically, they're good. They're sound. You run at them, they'll make their tackles. They'll hit you. Like they're good defenders. But if you create some
diversion,
Yep.
But like, just say with the Strange one, there was no need for him to rush out. Zero need. To rush out just because you just want to smash Sexton.
You want to smack Sexton.
And then you leave a massive gap, and then Huddy Young, you put pressure on Huddy Young. He should never been under that amount of pressure. Right?
Yep.
And that's the system that you play in, and that's the system that you got to stick in.
Yep.
And if you don't do that, you you might have stopped the bleeding there, but they couldn't.
It's going to be a kind of a video for the Raiders with 6 this week.
Especially the second half.
All right, let's get the Warriors 15 defeating the Dragons 14. Mace, the Warriors are second or third? I think second. Maybe drop back to third after the Storm game. No, second. Outright second on 16 points.
That's good.
They have a differential of +1. Pros and cons. They're not blowing any team out and they're just getting victories, but they're learning how to win with plenty of improvement still left in them. Yeah. I think this team can definitely go to another level, but even Webby said in the presser that it's hard to win in the NRL and they're ticking those boxes, but a +1 differential shows that they're just scraping by. And every year there's a team. Every year there's a team that's just getting the wins required to keep ticking away. But they can go, and I think there is some improvement in this Warriors team despite their really good start.
This is a hard game. This is a tough game.
Yep.
I tipped the Dragons only because it was down there. Only because it was down there and it's yuck and the weather was, it was just a tough game.
It was yuck.
The Warriors
the game was yuck.
Yeah, it was a yuck game. It was physical. It was just everything, It was just like, it was just battled through the middle. The Warriors just, they completed a high rate. They fucking run hard. Aaron Clark was outstanding again. Barnett, outstanding. Ford, outstanding. Like just real fucking smash mouth football and just taking them on in the middle, winning the ruck. They're winning the ruck, and St. George come out to play.
They did.
They come out to play.
Yep.
But they just couldn't put it to bed. Their halves are still, that young kid, the 7's still young, and Flanagan, wasn't really threatening the line that much.
Oh, you were talking about the 7 as in
the young kid.
Lycan.
Yeah, he was young. I mean, it's his second game or something like that.
Third game total.
Third game. He's just doing his thing. He's pretty much relying on Flanagan. Then they couldn't get any gap. They couldn't do anything on the edges.
One part after the game that I love, and again, how much I froth Webby and presses and all that sort of stuff. He was talking for about 5 minutes of the presser before, like no one had asked, and we were watching some on the way in. So what I mean by this, Mace, is. Just when they're just asking the coaches the questions the entire time, and then they talked about the form of Aaron Clark, and Webby just goes, Barney's out there with him, tell us about Aaron Clark. And then not only, he doesn't just do it for the sake of it, it's because he's just a good dude. And I reckon more coaches, this is what happens, right? When someone does something cool, that I recognise, there'll be other people that recognise it. You watch it and go, fuck, Webby's a legend. Watch coaches copy him do it. So he'll go, what do you think of it, Barney? And then Mitch goes through and talks about everything that Aaron Clark's been doing. By the way, visually just watching Aaron Clark before the game, he's their vocal leader. This is going into the game, he was fucking spraying the middles. Yeah. When they do their little break-up middles and backs, he's already become a leader at that club in a very short amount of time. But then Barney was talking about him, and then you see Webby just going like this, fully in agreement. And it's only a little thing, Mace. Yeah. But the buy-in that Mitch Barnett and all the other players would have for Webby because he believes in him, and it's like a collective there at the moment. That's what the Warriors are.
That's what it is.
It's what best represents what the Warriors are and why I fucking love Webby.
It's a proper team. It is. He's building a team. There's no individual player out there. No. There's none that's out there just doing his own thing.
No.
Everybody is just collectively working as a team. And I just love that. If you get the best individually, if you perform great, collectively as a team, you become better. And I think that's what he's done with them.
It's a perfect example. Metcalf was okay in this game. Yeah. Scored the first try, kicked the field goal. People were going to talk about Metcalf, but he was just okay. But you know what? People were talking about him because they're winning games and they're doing it as a collective and super impressed with what the Warriors are doing.
Their defense is good too. They work hard.
They work hard for each other, and like I said, when they get troops back and they get a couple of the OGs back, plus a couple of youngsters in Ali Lautea, with Roger coming back potentially and Fish. And they
When's the Fish come back?
Fish
out for a bit, eh?
Fish is close. And I think off the back of the last couple of weeks as well, just because I don't think there's anyone probably outside of Jeremiah Nanai right now on the edge for Queensland that's saying pick me. I think Capes, I think Capes might be a versatility off the bench sort of player.
Yeah, that's a good shout. He played good again on the weekend.
You put Capes in the 17 jersey, he chucks on any cape you want him to. Play centres, play left centre, play right centre, play left.
He's done a job for him before.
Solid player, mate. Solid player. All right, it's time for a tough conversation, in my opinion, for the Dragons right now. I think Jacob Little has to start over Cook.
Okay.
I think it's got to the point now where it's actually a detriment. You right?
Breaking Dragons news, they've just signed King Tonga for 2 years.
King Tonga?
Just now. Yep, just come through.
The little 7.
Okay. That must have been made official today.
Correct.
That was talked
rumours?
about a week.
Was there rumours there?
It was talked about a week and a half ago. So I like him as a player. That's a good. Speaking of Dragons right now, and this is perfect, Lukey, because I was just talking about the pros and cons. Mace, you will know exactly what I'm talking about backing vets.
Yeah.
Flano does it well. You know, guys that have been there and done it, got the runs on the board. Sticky also does it in Canberra. He very rarely puts a young player in over a vet because he's just like they need to earn it. But I'm looking at right now the situation. I think it'll be better for Cookie, even though he's a captain, to come off the bench because you can feel the energy. Do you know Jacob Little got clapped onto the field when he came on the field?
I saw that.
That's applying pressure to Cookie.
Is that
That's a sign from the fans are saying we want to see more.
Yeah, is that like a kick in the ass to Cook?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it's not a fucking good thing, is it?
Yeah, no. And
they're clapping your number. They're clapping him on for you to come off.
And every time he comes on, mate, and there's been maybe 3 or 4 games really where he's just playing well. Even if it doesn't happen for him at the Dragons this year, man, he is off contract right now.
I rate him.
Teams can go and get him. I keep saying this. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm looking at Jacob Little going, fucking go and get him.
Yeah, that's good shout. Like I don't know. I think he's a better. Manly. I think he's a better defender than Cook as well.
I don't know what's going on with Lachlan Croker at the moment. I know he's had a couple of bad injuries. Manly, go and get him.
He is a starter.
He's a starter.
He's 100% starter. Like he played he was at West Tigers Junior.
Yep.
Yeah, was stuck there behind a couple of nines there. They got Api Coruscant and all that kind of stuff. Was he there?
And they just weren't playing well.
And they just weren't. Yeah, they was just in a shit system.
He showed flashes.
Dog shit system. Guy out of there. Now he's over here, and he has been playing outstanding. Cook's had his time, mate. Cook is still a gun. You can still start him, but they need to start mixing it up a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't start him. I'd bring Cookie off the bench in a 14 role.
Yeah, and just speed the ruck up and just speed it right up, like they're doing with Little.
Yeah,
right. But Cook's quicker than Little. You know, so you can really speed the ruck up. So I'm not sure. That's a Flano.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough talk
for
Flano.
It's a captain, and I'm even looking like Sticky's the same. He's always these young guys make him proven. And I know Tom Starling's had a really good start to the year, but like the eye test, I'm watching it every time Owen Paddy comes onto the field. I'm like,
he goes good.
Owen Paddy's a better player already. Like I think the Raiders would be a better team if Owen Paddy was playing.
Starling's killing him.
But Starling's playing good. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
Tom Starling has a ceiling. And he's been around in the league for 7 years. If you had Starling come off the bench in the 14, I'd be stoked.
Starling is, got to admit, he's playing his career best football.
Career best. And
that's what's keeping the young fella off.
And I still think Owen Paddy's better than him. And I would buy it.
I think eventually he will take over. But like Starling, because he knows, like he's gone, okay, well he just signed a 2-year deal with them.
Yeah, I know.
So
and they just signed fucking Brayley.
So let's just get more 9, Sticky.
That's a weird one.
That's very weird.
If I'm Owen Paddy, mate. Anyway.
No.
Right, so this is twice though, and this is what about the timing of this? So we went on a tangent with goal kickers last week.
Yeah.
So twice now the Dragons have scored more tries than the team that they've played and lost. They had scored 5 tries to 4 against Souths, but lost with a Humphreys field goal, and then they scored 3 tries to 2 against the Warriors. But lost because
what is up with him?
The player who hits him the best, in our opinion, Valentine
Holmes. He's fucking it.
He's missed a couple of kicks and he missed a field goal. And I ripped Metcalf about not hitting him sweet. He comes up with good enough kicks to get the job done and a beautiful field goal too. What about the timing of that?
Holmes. I thought he would have got one there.
Yeah.
He hit it sweet.
He does hit him sweet.
He did hit it sweet, but it was nowhere near straight.
And I'm telling you, Metcalfs weren't sweet.
Nah.
But they went over.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
How far was that out, Metcalfs?
Say about 30, 35.
Yeah, he was out a fair bit, Val, wasn't he?
Yeah,
about
Val 40, had a couple
44,
of
something like that.
But he still hits them good.
I'd expect him like.
Yeah.
Who would you rather, game online, who you want?
Val.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in front of everyone in the comp.
No, I thought you'd been about.
No, not this game. Anyone. Origin game. Just fucking best of the best. Nath?
Yeah.
40 out?
Anywhere. Nath.
Yeah.
Nath's my guy. Yours?
Trell.
Mitch.
Mitch Moses?
Yeah, Mitchie.
All three pretty good.
You can't go wrong.
Maybe if I'm going long distance, I want Latrell because he's hit a couple of good fucking 50s. I don't think those other guys have got it.
From 55 out,
yeah. Birdo? Yeah, I've seen Birdo hit a 60.
Oh, you know he's one of the field goals, most clutch. I think he's the most clutch of all time, I think. Ches.
Yeah, both feet too.
Both feet.
Yeah,
like I think he has
fast.
kicked the most.
No, he's kicked the most field goal winning games of all time.
Yeah. 40 out. I don't want Ches.
No.
He's a specialist from 35 in.
Yeah.
Can kick a long one, but I'd prefer 35 in. Pacific Tonga lived up to the hype.
He's
Looks good.
guy, yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, he's a young kid who carved us up in SG Ball Grand Final last year. Fucking imagine that.
He's a beast, man.
He's a kid. That's what I mean. Bit of mentoring around him. Like he's got his like that talent and that size has got him to first grade. Now it's the discipline, right? It's working on his game, working on his craft, getting fitter, getting stronger, losing probably about 5 or 6 kilos.
I think he has to put on a bit of weight, mate.
Nah, fuck, he's 120 easy.
Oh, nah, he's not 120. I reckon a $110.
Jeez,
I reckon a solid like
big,
$112,
yeah?
$113. Because it's young baby fat.
Yeah, okay.
That's my point. I think he needs to harden up into a first grade body. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah. Bit more speed work, a little bit more leg speed. Got fatigue. Played big. Got 20 out.
I'm looking now. I reckon he got to about 30.
Yeah,
I'm going to see. I'm going to have
easily.
a look for us because I don't know exactly.
He was good last year. He was one of their dudes.
30 on the dot.
Yeah.
He punched out.
Straight.
30 straight. Yep. He come off the bench, played 30 straight for him.
That's awesome.
Pacific Tonga, Egan, Wade Egan, Dylan Egan, Hamish Stewart.
Him. A little hole hitter on the edge. Just a little quick tip. I just don't understand why more teams don't do that. Jesus, just a nice little short ball. No fucking people around the back. There's people around the back. You just run that good line if you're a left edge back row. You've done it before. We've all done it. Just a straight line.
In 2 years' time.
The seven's in two. You just need 7 just behind you.
Let me try to predict.
Just skip over a bit.
Yeah, I know. It's a nice line.
Fuck, it's a nice line. Where Tupanua was hitting him at his first game with us. It's very, very low key, but effective.
In a year's time or 2 years' time, where are the Dragons on the ladder with this pack? Pacific Tonga and Toby Couchman up front. Dylan Egan on the left edge. Hamish Stewart at lock. Jaden Sewer on the right edge.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a formidable pack.
It's a mobile pack. It's an aggressive pack.
Formidable
Who's hooker?
Jacob Little.
Yeah. I was hoping you were saying that. Cookie should be done in a couple of years, I reckon.
I think Cookie would be retired.
Yeah. I think they've got some really good young kids coming through.
Yeah.
Obviously they have. And I think with that coach there to really steal them up.
Who, Flano?
Yeah. I think he can get a job done there.
He's relying on veterans right now, but I think he's got to start to look towards the future with these young guys and get more mints in them, and they'll benefit it long term. It's the only thing is, like, Flano's not in a position of power in the sense where, like, he still needs wins. That's the problem, right? Like, he can't afford to develop these players because he might not be there in a year or two if they don't get the results. Yeah. So it's a tough one for him. Cowboys 30, draw with the Panthers 30. Fuck, this was an entertaining game. This could low-key...
How did this happen?
This could be Drinky's best year, mate.
Yeah.
Like, attacking games and hardly any of those, like, unforced errors that we talked about before. And there have been occasions where I've caught him out for it because I loved him and I thought he was close to Origin a couple of years ago, where he whiffs on plays. He ain't doing that anymore.
No.
He's locked in, mate. Like, you could probably argue you had your doubts on that Payne half try at the start of the year where he sort of got caught slipping. And then
business decision.
And then Xavier Savage jumped in. But outside of that, mate, Drinky is putting together a fucking really good 2024.
Yeah, all right. I've always had high raps on him. He's got everything. His skill set's like a halfback. He's got pace. He's got everything. Like, he's fucking great. He's the key to that side.
He is.
2022 season that they had, was that the one with the prelim?
23.
Prelim? Him.
22 was prelim. 23 was down year. 24 bounced back. 25 the showing signs again.
Yeah, 23 because Para got to the grand final. They beat him up there.
22.
Was that 22?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Well, he had a great year that year. And then he just sort of fell off the last sort of couple, like just defensive laps, trying too hard, different combinations, you know, like he just sort of, But it's his team, man. It's him and Dearden's team.
He looks comfortable in knowing who he is as a first grader now too, right?
He belongs there, mate. He always has, but he just needs to. And he's been there for what? It's 3 or 4 years now. He belongs there.
There's a maturity in his game. Yeah, that's the best way.
I think so as well. They fucking would have been spewing about this game. Jeez, it went for a while. It killed me at the end. Absolutely killed us. Can someone please
It was
win?
the late night Saturday game.
Win.
No, I enjoyed it. Like, I know it was Saturday night. I was sitting up watching it going, because...
But I knew the score.
Oh, did you have to
rewatch it? So I rewatched it and I'm like, what is going on?
It was really entertaining. Purdue just continues to impress. Yeah. Todd Payton's trying to pull up the brakes. People were asking about Origin. He mentioned, and I think he's got mail, that Purdue will be a part of the squad.
Well, he should be.
Yeah,
he should be. In 18, like in the 22-man squad. Just come into camp and show, and just have a look around, so you don't get in there when you're overawed and everything's happening. You know, I'm glad they do that. I'm glad they do that with young kids now.
I think that's what he's.
Who will do that? Who will be New South Wales as a guy?
Isaiah Katoa.
Yeah.
So here's my and what I mean by that is, if whoever you pick it for the 7 and 6, whoever doesn't get picked, do not make them 18th man, 19th man. If you know 100% that those two guys are going to be fit, bring in Isaiah Katoa into camp for one game and just get him to mix and mingle with Latrell,
get him
Mitchell,
Get
Nathan
him in.
Cleary,
Do the ball work. Run the B side. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, do everything. Like, just to get up to scratch, just to know what pace that they play at and the training level that all the elites get to. I think it's great. Like, I was sort of nearly against it like a couple of years ago. I'm like, fuck, you have to deserve that. You know what I mean? Like, and
That's
I'm like,
fair enough.
Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, no. I wish fucking they had bought me in when I was fucking 20, 21. Otherwise, you just get boom, straight in, boom, Suncorp.
Smacked in the face.
Just like, fucking, all right, come into camp, fucking bonding session, Suncorp, there you straight in there, where you don't experience anything. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad.
Pros and cons.
For a forward like me, don't care. Get out there, whatever. But like for a halfback and like a fullback or like different sort of positions, I think it's really good for their growth and just get to experience this, get to come in here, get to have a look how the best of the best are. Get to come in and watch the game. You know what I mean? Like, walk out, you do everything, you walk out, you warm up, you do everything, bar play. Then it makes you fucking hungry. I need this, I want this, I want this.
Love it.
So
and the pros, what's the pros for the Bulldogs? They don't lose Matty Burton as well for a game. So there's a pro.
Better not pick that.
Nanai's on fire, mate. I'm so impressed with Nanai. The one part that I could see how locked in he's in at the moment, he nearly scores one of those beautiful tries where he jumps through the air and jumped out. Dylan lost it, and he turned around and it was like the 55th or 60th, maybe even further into the game. He looks fresh, he looks fit, and he just walked back and he goes, "Don't worry, we got this." And I'm like, man, he is so
he's locked in, I love it. I've never seen him like this. Lit a fire. He's always been like, oh, Mr. fucking, just get through games and like body language, not like how I'd think that he would be, being one of the best back rollers in the comp. Now he's like, I am. I fucking am. I just got a bit of kick in the ass at the start. Now I'm showing everyone what I am, what I'm capable of. He's a leader in that team. He's taking it. He's taking it serious. He should be one of the first pick for fucking Origin.
No Tomalolo, no Cotter in this game,
and they still fucking
he led
head to head.
He was the guy.
Yep.
He took it upon himself to be the leader of the pack.
Yeah, Neem went all right too. I reckon.
Yeah,
big Neem went. Oh,
yeah,
Cohen Hess went good.
Yep. Griffin Neem was good as well. You're right. Geez, I felt bad for Kentucky Derby.
He had one of the worst.
I was just like, man, can you just when he won that captain's challenge as well.
I was like, yes, good work.
I think every person watching that game wanted him to win that challenge.
I was like, please don't you. I was like, don't you dare drop it. Don't you dare drop it. Yes.
Lindsay Smith just goes, little rake.
Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Hopefully that's I think he has a big future.
So do I.
Big raps on him.
Yep.
But some of these wingers, they're like that. Some wingers, like remember Lottie Takiri's first couple of games?
No.
Fucking awful.
Were they?
LT, man, dropping balls everywhere. Everyone was thinking, what is this? Then he turns into one of the greatest wingers of all time.
Easily.
But LT's first couple, you wouldn't have thought that he would have been LT.
Yeah.
It was Lottie Takiri back then. He was not LT. He turned himself into LT. Yeah. But his first couple of games, man, drop balls and it was pretty bad. So old Kentucky Derby. If you want to have a look at some old, some
watch an
old
LT
greats. Yeah, so some really, really like outstanding players that have had bad games, mate. So, hopefully this is just your only one.
I would highly recommend for Todd Payton, just purely to make sure he doesn't go in a slump, do not drop him.
No.
Like it's get him out there, get him back out. It's almost like, remember when Sticky stuck with KO Weeks at the start of the year when KO Weeks was getting dominated and dropping some balls. Yeah. Now you're seeing the better version of KO Weeks.
Yep, but he hasn't been tested that much. We don't know how good this Derby kid can be.
Yeah, I think he's
got some raps on him.
Yep.
So you got to stick with him.
I think
because the worst thing you could do to a young kid like this is drop him.
Ivan has stuck with Blaze Talangi for the last couple of weeks.
Man, there you go.
And he looks like he's now starting to at least – he looks like his movements are correct. He looks like he's getting into the right spots. He's making the right pass. Ivan said in the presser after the game he reckons both teams, and the Cowboys and Panthers, hold their breath whenever he's got the ball because they don't know what's going to happen. But you can see signs, and then that's doing it with a guy like Luke Garner playing centres who we put over.
How good was he?
Garner was all right.
Jesus.
Garner was all right. Then they brought on Milky Jenkins and they still had some joy. So he's doing it with different guys.
Oh, I like what I saw. Like I just went, okay, well, this is what I envisioned at the start. Like when you get on those long fours and he's going to get those opportunities and, like the fullback comes around late and everything like that, and he's making the right choice and he's executing it.
Well, the kick on play 3 when Scotty Drinkwater was caught in the line. That's the right play. Did the right play, the execution was right. It didn't look pretty. Looked like it come off, like shanked it off the boot. And it had a really nice bounce, really good patience from Tom Jenkins as well to let it come up to him rather than chase it.
It was a good play when you look at it.
Yeah,
right?
it was a great play.
Great ball, and they all come around. They waved around here, and they all thought, because the Derby was up.
Yep.
Up, way up, right?
Yep.
The only choice was to kick.
Yep.
So they all come rushing around.
He drops it onto the boot.
It was never a pass on. There was never a pass on, right? They just come around this way, swept, and they just sprinted to the ball. Just the kick just had to wait.
Beautiful.
I think next that's going to be a play that people will start watching, and that's a play that you can if the winger drops back, it's pass. If he sticks up, it's just a little kick over, and you can't do anything. If you're the 3-man, if you drop back, they're all hitting holes.
Fast forward to the Melbourne Storm game in a couple of days. The next day, I watched a number of times where, because Pappy, they started the Melbourne Storm fullback defending in the line. Go watch if you think about it. Now I'm telling you, Storm would trap and scrap.
Yeah,
so
choice. Yeah,
they know that they don't have a fullback. Storm put their feet out and trap and scrap or charge down the ball because they know Pappy could be out of position because that's the way they want to defend.
Yeah. I understand that, but it's like it's hard to do that one.
Yeah.
If you get that ball where Blaze got it, like you're 3 meters away and he's waiting for you. You can't turn around. No. These guys are right next to me and they're sprinting. They'll catch the ball on the full. You know what I mean? You don't want I think the next fucking evolution of it, the ball's getting caught on the full, like Cleary's been doing on the other side. He thinks he's not kicking that way. He's kicking it straight.
Right.
And then Tungo's just running a straight line.
Yeah. Jenkins
bringing him right up. He's bringing him right up. And then like you think he's going over there, he's just kicking it there.
Yeah.
They're always trying
to break it down.
Smart team. Smart coach.
Moses Leota was really good in this. Liam Martin was really good in this. Isaiah Yeo was really good in this.
All the guys.
They're starting to get their mojo back, but watching them after the game, because they front-loaded so well when they got to 2 12-point leads, you could see they were a bit deflated. Body language after the game was like...
That hurt them. I reckon it hurt them.
There was like a realisation watching them that they're like, we just went hard against a team without Tomalolo and Critta.
We didn't even win.
We still didn't get the win.
We didn't win. I reckon that's a very deflating moment. I thought so. I saw that as well. I was just like, fuck, they didn't get it. They didn't get the win. I was watching that because I knew the score. I was like, how the fuck this happened? Like, this should be Panthers. You put these guys away. 24-18 or whatever, 24-12. I don't know what it was. I'm like, how'd they get back? I'm like, oh, God. And then you saw it at the end. It's like, that 1 point you get, fuck. It could be the difference between making the 8 and not making the 8.
Yeah, man.
Getting to Origin. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the Storm 64 defeating the Tigers 0. Storm, I think every NRL fan, despite maybe Tigers fans, loved seeing Pappy in full flight yesterday.
I love it, mate.
Like he's 36 points. That's a Storm record. He went past Matt Guy as the most points in Melbourne Storm history for a game. Yeah. And it's just good to see him running around and getting back to where he was. Because they were asked about him. We were watching the press.
Yeah.
There would have been times where they would have doubted whether he was going to be back to not only playing football again, but getting back to his best. And it looks like he's there.
Well, that's the thing. They were worried about Pappy, will he be back? But what Pappy will be back? Like a guy who's, look at the injuries, the lower leg injuries. That's you lose a couple of meters. He hasn't lost anything.
No.
He's gotten better.
He's got his spring.
He has gotten better. He's like, if it wasn't Dylan Edwards, right, who's going to be the fullback for Origin, it's Papenhuzen next.
Jumping Teddy.
Yeah. Ooh. I just think because Teddy's had his moment. I think Teddy's had his time.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the only reason. And I just think Papenhuzen would deserve that. Because I think go back to 2020, if Pappy don't get injured 2020, he's the one putting pressure on Teddy.
Agreed.
Not Dylan Edwards.
And Turbo was in Turbo.
He was around. He got that. Yeah, he got that Clive Churchill, and he was the fucking best fullback in the game. And I just think he's back there now.
He was actually in contention to play Origin during that time, and then got injured in the grand final, whatever, and missed that series.
Missed it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the one that the COVID bullshit.
After season.
Yeah, so it was after season Origin. I was like, he got injured in that, so he would have been playing then. So, yeah, great to see him back. They look unstoppable when they're like that. I don't know what the fuck happened to the Tigers, but Money, Hughes, just like their forwards, Stefano, Blore, Katoa. They didn't even have Harry Grant. Those two blokes who come in, Garlic and Staples. What's the other guy who comes in? Summerton?
No, Summerton plays with the Panthers. Who are you thinking of?
The other 9 that comes who played for Melbourne. Or is it just Garlic?
Yeah, it's Garlic and Wishart.
Is it just Garlic?
Tyron Wishart.
Okay, yeah. Those two just carved up. Everyone. Yeah. Everyone was just carving up.
Yeah.
Meanie carving up. Tigers, fuck.
What about this? So you know how I've got this. You know how I've got that fucking bet with Amy Parker wingers. The Melbourne Storm scored 64 points and the wingers didn't score.
Oh, fuck off.
Xavier Coates had 4 try assists.
Xavier Coates was killing them.
And Su'Fa'alongo did not score.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, but they killed it.
The Amy Park bet, Omen bet,
done.
It's dead.
Done. It's done. It's done.
It's officially over.
They look so hard to beat when they're on like that. They did that to Power in the first round, and it's just like, good luck catching them.
Money and Hughes were okay. And they got better as the game went on. No Harry, no Warbrick. This was the get-right game for Melbourne just before Origin.
Scary to think that you got Harry Grant, Warbrick to come back.
Sharks this week will be a good game.
It's always a good game.
Where
is it played? Oh, we'll go for that.
I think it's Amy. We'll find out.
That'll be a hard game. But, geez, what are we doing, Tigers?
Tigers? It's humbling for me and the Tigers because I declared...
It's not Amy, it's at Shark Park.
Well, it is at Shark Park. All right, there we go.
Change a bit.
Tigers. I thought they'd turned the corner. Maybe they thought they'd turned the corner. It's a reality check for them. I think this is similar to the Raiders game where I said at the start of the year when they got pumped by Manly. Forget.
Yeah.
Watch a couple of clips of videos, which is important. Remove it from your fucking head and move on for this week. I think Benji, and I said this as the game started, I was calling this game yesterday, overthought selections.
For this game?
So he had Charlie Staines playing right centre and flicked Brent Naden from right centre to left wing. I think he was just trying to be a little bit too tricky. Now, there's so much that went wrong in this game. And
Staines.
I know just like Charlie Staines is an out-and-out winger.
Yeah, he's a winger. He plays centre.
He scored 2 tries on the wing for him last week at Magic Round. I don't know what, like it must have been something to do with potentially Naden having joy against Su'Fa'alongo in the air, potentially. Like that could have been part of the decision. Yeah. I just thought it was like it's a young coach overthinking, trying to play maybe a little bit of selection mind games before the game.
Against Craig Bellamy.
And it just...
Fuck that.
It was just didn't work at all.
Yeah, I just think, get this game. I wouldn't even be looking at the review or preview of this game. I wouldn't care if I was Benji. Be like, that ain't us. That's not what we're about. Fuck it off. See you later. Like there's a couple of players who were in Origin contention over the last couple of weeks have really fucked themselves. I'm not even going to name them, but I'm just like, they're there in a couple of these teams. So,
all right, well, let's talk about it, right? So if you think Jerome, let's start off with Jerome, because it would have been Jerome, Mitch, and Nathan. I don't think one game should necessarily just completely rule
I don't
out.
think it's Jerome. No.
Terrell.
Yeah, Terrell May. I think Terrell May and Ola Kawatu. Those two guys I would have had in my side. And the last couple of weeks, I'm just like, oh.
Terrell's had an excellent 9 wins.
Yeah,
you're going to say one game and you're not going to have him in the team?
Oh, I'd be, I don't know, 18th man or something like that.
Okay.
I'd have him in the squad, but I don't know.
So who were you guys? So Payne.
I'm still having fucking Jake Trebojevic in there.
Are ya?
Yeah. And I just put, I don't know.
Laurie sounded like he might as well.
Really?
Talking on the buy round.
Okay. What do you say?
Just big on locker room stuff. Like he goes, he understands his role.
I think he brings more than just, he's probably one of the best defenders in the game. But I think Terrell May will have to wait for game 2 or 3. I don't know.
And then you've got Spencer as well.
Spencer Lenu, exactly, yeah. And then, Isaiah Yeo, what do you do with him?
There was
Mitch Barnett.
one of the New South Wales.
Mitch Barnett goes to the bench with Lenu. That's what I mean. And then you got Connor Watson.
To the point where you're saying with sticking with him, I think it was Paul Conlon, who's one of the top dogs at New South Wales, said he'll be surprised if there's any like crazy wholesale changes.
That's what I mean, because we won last year, and it's very like you pick and stick and everything like that. And
I think Terrell May's been playing too well.
I think so too, but I just think because of the fact that fucking Jakey is captain and he's back now, and he knows how to start a game. Right.
Okay, so do you think Jakey will play? Do you think he'll be captain?
Yeah.
Do you? Wow.
Well, I just think, why else would you play him?
I think it was weird for Laurie to come out in the way he did on the buy round.
Don't know.
He did mention he will pick on form as well, but it was a weird glaze out of sort of. Gotcha. You can straight back the question a bit better.
I just think with Jake,
I need to watch it. I'll watch it back.
We'll get back. We'll talk about Origin more on Thursday, but so I just think couple of players. I'm just saying we'll get to this next game with the Sharks and the Eagles, but I'm just saying there's some guys. They were in there a couple of weeks ago.
You know how much I love Hamole. Yeah. I'm with you on Hamole.
Yeah.
I think that he had a really good game against Penrith. The game before that was not that great. And I reckon maybe he's feeling the effects of Origin and selection and all that.
Bit of pressure.
And trying to overdo it. So let's get to Manly. We'll get to Manly.
We'll
start off with the Sharks, though, because they were really
Sharks are good. I just think
30, defeating the Seagulls 14. Ronaldo scoring a double and letting everyone know, including the fans. Which player in the comp frustrates you the most when they're on the front foot and they're talking shit? I've got a couple of options.
Oh, fuck. There's some good options there.
Some good names right here.
Oh, God. Taruva's up there.
So Munster, actually, Money's more the opposite.
Money's sweet. Sweet.
No. Money talks shit and gets frustrated and gets a bit grubby when they're losing. He's a pretty good front runner. Yeah,
Ronaldo is in your face.
Ronaldo's in your face?
Like you nearly need to punch him. Like he gets that far in and he's saying some shit and he's fucking it'd be hurting you. He'd be hurting you. So easily Ronaldo.
And
he's a winger.
I'll throw out some more names.
Taruva's there. Any winger.
Reid Marnie.
I don't know, because I love Reid Marnie, but if I didn't know him, I'd probably punch him in the head.
Well, let's try to stay even kill with this and just call out some names.
Reid Marnie's up there.
These two have got better. They used to be like it when they were younger, but now they've become vets and they don't do it as much. Jerome Luai and Trell Mitt.
They're fine.
They used to let you know about it.
Yeah, Trell was big. Trell Mitt when he was
coming through,
like when he was ragdolling you, just picking you up and throwing you out the sideline and then getting in your face.
What about Walshy doing these ones after celebrating after dominating you a couple of years ago?
Come on, mate.
These are some options.
These are the guys. They get to me. Any back would get to me.
Mitch and Gutho used to be let you know about it when they were dominating.
Both get to me.
How about Billy Burns?
What? The kid, the Roosters kid?
No.
Oh.
That's Billy Smith.
Oh,
Billy
Cronulla guy?
The journeyman back rower.
Yeah.
He was standing over Ruben Garrick and flexing on him yesterday.
He did. I was wondering who the fuck it was. The 12.
I think Ruben Garrick was wondering who it was too, because
that's what I know. I saw.
Billy Burns has been around for about 8 years and played about fucking 30 or 40 games. He was flexing on Ruben Garrick. He had a good game, don't get me wrong.
Was that when he dropped the ball, right, and Trindle scored? And then he fucking...
he jumped over top of him. What are you doing?
Oh, fuck. Now I remember because that's when Trindle scored because he dropped the ball. I'm like... I think I do it because it's today's game, right? You can't do shit.
You have to throw.
Garrick had to do something.
You have to.
Garrick had to nearly cop 10 for it.
You can't cop that from third degree burns.
Oh,
no chance.
He stood over him like he was AI.
When Montgomery is standing over top of you like that, you got to take 2 weeks, don't you?
Oh yeah, you cop one. You'd cop a week. So I'm fucking done, boys. I can't cop that. I'm not copping this.
Oh, man.
Anyone and it wasn't his play.
It was a good play. He's the one that tackled Garrick too. He's tackled Garrick, the forced error.
Oh, and then stood over him. Okay, fuck. I get it. Yeah, don't do that. Come on, son. You're better than that, Billy. You're better than that, Billy. I don't expect that from Billy Burns.
No, well, my thing is not a knock on Billy Burns for doing it. Billy Burns has got he forced an error.
Garrick had to do something.
Yeah. Tavanga had to do something.
Someone had to do something.
Someone had to fucking come in there.
Someone had to come back with a double hand on the jersey and flip him back.
Taruva to Riley Smith a couple of weeks ago out of frustration when Riley Smith was coming in.
Something like that.
Something like that needed to happen.
A fucking hip toss. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, something.
That pissed me off as a
Manly.
As a Manly fan.
It's that brookie. It was in front of the fucking ball. It was in front of the stand.
In front of the family.
Yeah. Come on, man. Anyway.
Nico.
Nico played good. He played good.
He's out of his rut. Yeah. There's this, and you know what? Similar to the Teddy situation.
Yeah.
Different circumstances. Because he had so much criticism around his performances in playing for New South Wales in the last couple of years, I don't think he's even close to being on the radar of what Laurie's trying to do.
No.
And it's serving him well.
It's good.
And it's serving the Sharks well.
Yeah.
And their Sharks are just going to go around during this period and keep ticking off wins. They've got a huge game against Melbourne. If they can beat Melbourne at Shark Park going into Origin, where Adam's going to be available, Nico's going to be available, Trindle's going to be available.
Everyone. Who's not going to be available?
Ronaldo's going to be available. Kennedy's going to be available. Hazelton's going to be everyone. Full deck of cards.
Yeah. So I love it how Nico is just going to the line, playing football. He's just playing how he was playing a couple of years ago. Looks happy, getting some he's digging into the line. People are hitting holes off him. He's giving early ball. Just playing footy. I
think he's tweaked it a bit, Mace. I think he's gone to being the Matt Moylan of the show and allowing Trindle to sort of have the moments. But in saying that, in game managing, he's actually coming up with some nice plays that are leading to tries.
Short sides, everything like that. That's what I love. That's when Nico's at his best, that's what he's doing. He is exploiting all your weaknesses.
A, B, C.
And play,
that play you like. You know how he put fucking Aden over?
Yeah.
And normally you want forwards to do it? Yeah. Because McInnes doesn't have it in his game. We're talking about on the way
That's what I'm saying.
So he's getting to first receiver now and doing those plays in and around B and C and D.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I like. That's what McInnes. That's what he needs to add to his game. So if big Fanua Blake's leading, if they go in, then he's on the outside.
Get out the back.
You know what I mean? Like that's what needs. That's the next evolution of the Sharks. I'm pretty sure they'll be trying to do that. But him just even going to the line with Fanua Blake, fucking hard to stop.
Yeah,
hard to stop because he can get B straight. he can catch at A, get to B, bring C in, and then try. Then you get this. That's it.
The best try.
Manly. Jesus Christ. I don't know.
But just quickly before we move off, I know he's he's a centre. Kale Hero's quickly becoming an important member.
He's a strong man.
He's a strong player. He's a real player for him. And they struggled without him.
They did. Defensively.
Moani Hiroti did a fair job.
Yeah.
But it was different. Kale is...
He's a problem... not in defence, like him as a defender.
Yeah,
you don't make line breaks. Hiroti, you got a few little bit of joy there. Not with this kid.
Manly,
very very strong. Manly's, jeez, just I don't know. They got back into the game at 14-all, didn't they? And then just like sort of
there was a 10-minute period.
They had it. It was right there. And then Olakuatu went short sides, right, and then tried to play that 3-on-2 when nothing was happening. And then it switched. They end up scoring off that, not in that next set of 6, and then it just went on a run. I've looked at that, I went, fuck, because I love Olakau'atu, right? But that's not the play. The play for him, and just say, if you're thinking Origin, if you got to go open side, mate.
Yeah.
Open side and smash it straight through the middle, get to the middle of the field to open it back up again.
You've got Braden Trindle in front of you too.
You do not go short sides and try and play this little thing. You learned a couple of weeks ago when he got caught for that a couple of times, just trying to play a little bit too pretty.
Dragons game.
That's not your game.
But here's the problem. He played against Penrith the week after and had joy with it.
Yeah.
So someone needs to get in the
There's a fine line with him. There's a fine
100%.
line. But the play is not that, right? The play is get on the open side, right? And you get the ball, bang, and just fucking charge it into whoever is in front of you, mate.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you do in Origin, and that's not like just say, I'm just thinking in Origin. If you do that in Origin, you're getting fucking hammered. You can't lose the ball in that stage of the game. It was right near halfway, just over their 40-metre line, and then you lose possession over that play when it should be you get to the open side and just fucking charge into the teeth of it. You don't need any support. You don't need anything. That's your run. Quick play the ball, get on the back of that kick. That's what happens. And they were in the game.
I'm with you, and I think a lot of people were. I think he was in a lot of people's Origin teams 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
He's not in mine at the moment.
A couple. That's what I'm saying, because they're not Origin plays, right? And even Terrell May, even though it was a little thing when Munster went through and boom, he palms Terrell May off because Terrell May just slid out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they fucking look at that.
In between May and Super.
Selectors look at that.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking Munster. And Munster's going to be playing.
In Origin.
Right?
Fair.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. They're going to be, they were in my side, both those guys, 2 weeks ago. Now I'm like, fuck. Now I'm just going leaning towards, like, because I know how important it is in that first game to win that game in Brisbane. It's going to be fucking hard. And if we lose that, god damn, it's going to be hard to win in Perth, and then you got to fucking decide here. We've got to get that first game, and we need to pick the right players. That's where you pick Origin players. And fucking pick anyone else but Latrell Mitchell in the centres and Critta on that other side.
All right.
And you pick Jake in the middle.
Turbo. What are you doing with Turbo?
Turbo on the wing.
Are you confident?
No. No way. But because
let's leave Turbo.
We'll leave that till next week. But I'm like, because you got to have a Zach Lomax, you're going to have a Toto, you're going to have all these guys that are fucking pushing, and they're going to have their best games this week.
Okay,
that's a selector's fault.
All right. Matty said after the game he expected better from Manly. This is in his post-match show, and like he's bringing up the DCE situation, which is fair, and a lot of people were talking about that now. I just don't look at this Manly team and just go, I always thought Cronulla were better.
Yeah, same. I didn't think Manly's going to win this.
No.
I know I was at Brookie on a Sunday. Yeah, they're hard to beat, but like fucking Cronulla are better. You know, like Turbo's on one leg, right? You've got no middles, and you're going up against fucking one of the best, a top 4 team.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking this is exactly what I thought it would play out like. I thought Manly would be in it, and they could possibly win it, but the Sharks should have won it.
Nathan Brown off the back fence.
That's beautiful. Jesus Christ, his body's got to be sorted out.
Does it get you pumped up every time?
Yeah, it does. I was just thinking, imagine if we had like guys like, I think it was Nathan Long and Martin Lang used to do that. It's just like, fuck, you know, you have to put your shoulder there, mate.
Here's my question for you. Can it be a detriment to the team in any way if he continually keeps getting pumped like he is, though?
Wouldn't mind him putting a bit of footwork on. Sometimes.
Can he not find his front once, though, and just like skittle someone?
He does find his front, but it's just after he finds his back. He's like a turtle. He's like a turtle. You got to push him, boom, and then gets you back on the front. But nothing but respect from Nathan Brown, because sometimes he does find his front, but it's just a free shot, and you don't get free shots in this game.
You'd be excited by that, knowing he's on the back fence.
I'm fucking sitting there. I'm just thinking, imagine if he did that. It was just like myself and Roy and Ogre and Sonny and fucking Adam Perry and guys like that. You're just like fucking licking your lips.
Are you saying excited to be on his team and he does that?
No. Being in defense, going, look, he's coming, knowing you're going to get that shot.
Oh, mate, it's just you're sitting there going, fuck, who wants it? That's what you're sitting there. You're just going, can you imagine just say if you kick that way and you've got, like, just say Tong would be left centre and then Shifty would be fucking out, he'd be out in the wing anyway. Yeah. And then you've got, like, just say Bobcat and then Roy, Adam Perry, Ogre, me, Sonny, like all just running down, like, you know what I mean? That's what you got in a fucking start. Rennie, if he was around, like if he was the other centre, you'd just be like.
What about if he was still playing for Parramatta doing that against Shoulders Matai?
Yeah, like, if you see. If he's got half a brain, like I'm not sure if he does these days, but fuck, if you saw Skivvy, if he's playing left centre and he would move in a couple.
Do you know who got him out of the two? Was it third degree Burns again?
Burnsy got him, yeah.
Or was it Ko Iro?
I don't know.
Because Ronaldo finished at second marker and then they'll go at each other and he's going, come on.
Yeah.
Notice the cameras now sitting on the back fence with him.
See that?
Yeah.
Do you reckon they winded him up?
What?
Yeah.
So the cameras for Channel 9.
He should be getting paid from Channel 9 for those fucking hit-ups.
So
it is the best. It is the best thing.
It was the most entertaining part of the game.
It's the most entertaining part of the fucking NRL, watching him just getting fucking pumped.
But
sometimes he's not getting pumped. Sometimes he's waiting his...
Was it Liam, when he ran over Liam Henry last year and concussed him?
Yeah, he's had a few, like, if you get it wrong defensively, you're fucking out.
But is he getting to the right spots offensively by doing that as well? Is it beneficial?
No. He like on a kickoff, doesn't matter as much. You can't because the line is because it's in the air so high. I mean, so long. By the time he catches it, he's got 10 meters, and like you can't be over that way because you fucking get really belted. So it needs to be just direct and straight.
If we got more to chat, we're 5 minutes.
Pardon?
We've got 5 minutes.
Yeah, all good. Here it is. Let's see if we get it up.
Yeah, it's a brave run.
Here.
He's right on it.
Channel 9 are right on there. This is before.
He loves
Shout
it.
out to Speedy with the commentary. He's seen it. He heard it coming.
So look at the depth on this kick. So look at that. Look how deep it is. One. Look at it. He only gets to the 10. Do you know what I mean?
Is that Hamlin Wale?
I love it.
It was. I think KL gets the best hit.
But have a look at this. Just say if he can't be in the end goal, otherwise he'll get not even to the 10. You got to watch this. So watch where he catches on there.
Who's the other guy in there? Ronaldo and...
Who's the 4? Was it Iro?
Oh, yeah, no, it's Ko Iro.
Iro got him.
I think it was Hamlin Wale got a bit of a touch on him too. And Ronaldo...
It's one of the best things, mate. Shout out to Brownie, one of the greatest blokes of all time, but fuck, he's tough. He's confident, mate. And this is his thing now.
Yeah.
If he puts a step on, he'll probably get booed.
Who are they playing this week?
Melbourne. No, that's
Manly play Cowboys at Cowboys Stadium.
Don't do that to Nanai. Nanai will fucking destroy him. Nanai's destroying him.
He's on a mission.
He's on the right edge. He should be sweet.
Yeah.
He likes it on that. Right. So it's left edge back right.
Brownie.
Bateman? No, Nanai's playing left edge now.
Yeah, he's left edge. Yeah.
Yuck. Brownie.
But this is his thing now. This is his thing.
Why the hell?
You know what I mean? Like he can't not do this ever. Like if he takes a step or just a little bit of diversion, everyone will just be like, oh.
You good?
Yeah, all good. I just seen.
What happened? What are you doing?
No, I just seen that the Cowboys are underdogs for some reason against Manly at Country Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
That just threw me off.
No, it's not. Yeah.
All right, that's it.
All right.
Good week of footy. Really enjoyed it. We'll see you on Thursday for the preview, and we'll have our Origin teams.
Yes.